Another round on the way. It's cloudy in the low 60s downtown. Some showers up towards Frankfort. I'm Kurt Darling. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. You had a little rain throughout Indiana on Wednesday. As for today,
more rain is coming, and that's going to increase the flooding threat fairly substantially, up to 30 to 40% chance of flooding in most places.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service. He says areas to the south could get up to 5 inches of rain falling in a short amount of time, especially late tonight and early into the hours tomorrow morning. A shooting Wednesday afternoon on the east side leaves a man dead. It was near Rural and 25th, where police say they found the man shot and lying in the front yard of a home. He died later on at the hospital. They say the man who shot him surrendered to police later on that evening. Now that the president signed his bill to declassify documents regarding the origins of COVID, Indiana Senator Mike Braun says he doesn't want Biden to wait. Harrison Silcox reports.
Braun says he wants the president to release the documents ASAP instead of waiting about 90 days. He also says you deserve the full story.
Don't hold back on what we've been holding in our own intel on any information.
Speaking from his office in a video posted to Twitter Wednesday, not only does Braun think you deserve to see those documents now, he also wants as little redacted from them as possible. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Duke Energy and AES Indiana are both asking state regulators for a rate decrease of about $23 to $26 a month for their customers. Both would take effect in the next couple of months if approved. Ball State economist Mike Hicks explains why some utilities are seeking rate decreases.
They see that the cost of the energy they're buying is lower, and they want to pass those savings back on to consumers.
Talking to Wish TV, Duke Energy and AES also say a stabilizing global oil and gas market is playing a role. The Fighting Irish may have a new basketball coach. CBS Sports, the first to report that Notre Dame has reached a 7-year deal with Penn State coach Micah Shrewsbury, an Indianapolis native who played his college ball at Hanover. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
Northwest side crash. Northbound 465 before 865. That's the right shoulder. Traffic stop and go back to 86th Street. Also looking at inbound at 69, putting around a little. 96th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Indeed.com. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. With Indeed, you can attract screen and interview candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. I'm Matt Baer with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on Twitter at WIBC Traffic.
A horrific car accident left Paula with major injuries and surgery after surgery.
I got to the point where I really couldn't walk. I had to resign from work. I was really just laying in bed. It was terrible. I wouldn't go back under the knife.
She missed working and traveling, but all that was about to change. QC Kinetics used natural biologics to treat Paula. No foreign substances. They provided regenerative treatments that helped subside the pain and restore her quality of life.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was feeling more movement and doing stuff. And then I started crying. I'm like, I can't believe it.
For Paula, this moment was extremely emotional.
I couldn't do nothing. And now I'm working, and I was on my feet for 7.5 hours, and I feel good. I got my life back because of QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics now for your consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
On-off showers are likely for today. A few storms as well. Heavier rain arrives later on this evening. High temperature at 62 degrees tonight. Heavy rain will be likely. Low temperature of 43 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
63 and cloudy on Monument Circle. I'm Kurt Darling. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This hour is powered by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Johnson County.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The idea that because some guy down the street from you sold his home, you should have to pay more taxes is wholly ridiculous. The whole thing is a giant scam.
And Casey Daniels.
Sounds like the Indiana Republican Party needs to work on their P&L statements. Taking this much, you spend this much.
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, March 23rd. It's 7 minutes after 9, and you're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So much to unpack, and we'll start with this. The Manhattan District Attorney has told the grand jury weighing potential charges against Donald Trump to stay home rather than reconvene as planned.
Now, this was Wednesday that he told them that. We think they may be back at work today, but now there's new drama saying that he's having trouble manipulating the grand jury. I mean, that's my description based on the news description, and may not be getting exactly what he wants from the grand jury.
Okay, so the reason for the delay, unclear. He told the grand jury just to be on standby. And then we have this letter that has surfaced. In it, it states that Michael Cohen paid Stormy Daniels with his own funds, and Trump did not reimburse the money. Rob, what is going on?
Yes, so this is just, I mean, you want to, and we talk about this a lot on this show when it comes to the justice system. The brilliance of the founding fathers and the system they set up was that there was always a last line of defense against unjust prosecution, persecution. The last line of, in terms of making law, it was the courts would be a check and balance on the legislature. The court, the legal system was always supposed to be the ultimate fail-safe. But what we have seen more and more frequently, both in terms of activist judges and now in activist prosecutors, is justice is not blind. Justice is first and foremost political. And in the case of this letter from Michael Cohen, signed off on by Stephen M. Ryan, Cohen's legal counsel at the time, dated February 8th, 2018, it basically says, or it doesn't basically, it does say, well, let me just read it for you, okay, shall we?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hard to misinterpret this. In a private transaction in 2016, before the U.S. presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Ms. Stephanie Clifford. That's Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly.
And then it all started to fall apart for Alvin Bragg.
I'd say the prosecution rests, Your Honor, except he is the prosecution. So I guess in this case, the defense rests, Your Honor.
Right.
Trump is doing too much on the Truth social media for me to keep up with. Maybe this was all part of his plan to get people to go to Truth social media to read his stuff. Because we have to read Trump's observation of this breaking bombshell news, and by popular demand, we have made the executive choice that we will again, as I feel we've entered presidential election season, we will bring back the Whitney.
Yep.
Maestro. Wow. Look at what was just found. A letter from Cohen's lawyer to the Federal Election Commission. This is totally exculpatory and must end the Manhattan District Attorney's witch hunt immediately. Cohen admits that he did it himself. The DA should get on with prosecuting violent criminals so people can walk down the sidewalks of New York without being murdered.
Okay, so there are no plans, no requests. They haven't said, Trump, come to New York, come to town, nothing. He's still in Florida with no plans to go to New York. So where does this leave us? Are we done? Are we done here?
Well, here's what I know, Casey. And Kevin and I were talking about this before we went on the air. You know, we had sworn off the I Will Always Love You. We had said a new man had captured our hearts. We were in the sack with a new political candidate,
you
so
went
to speak.
No contact.
Yeah, and it's like the woman you've been away from for 2 years because you knew the woman was crazy. You knew she was awful for you. You knew after that 20 minutes of uninterrupted pleasure that you had 30 hours and 40 minutes of the rest of your day that was going to be a complete train wreck, and you'd said, I can't do this anymore. And then you made the egregious mistake of hopping back in the sack with the woman, and you said, I don't care how nutso it is. I need more of it. So
you cannot put toothpaste back in the tube.
Look, I'm back in love with Trump. I need more of it. I know it's not going to end well for me. And so with that in mind.
Prepare to have your heart broken.
But wait, there's more. in all caps, so you know he's being serious. Why won't Bragg drop this case? Everybody says there is no crime here. I did nothing wrong. It was all made up by a convicted nut job with zero credibility, who has been disputed by highly respected professionals at every turn. Bragg refuses to stop, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. He is a Soros-backed animal who just doesn't care about right or wrong, no matter how many people are hurt. This is no legal system. This is the Gestapo. This is Russia and China. But worse, disgraceful.
Excellent performance.
Thank you.
Good
I love
job.
it. Thank you.
Good job. That was great.
I know it's not going to end well for me, but gosh darn it, I'm having a good time in the moment.
So do you think they're calling more witnesses, or is this, are we done? I mean, is Alvin Bragg getting word, all right, back down, buddy? These new revelations are coming out and you just look stupid.
Well, this is what's interesting, is if indeed this were in some pursuit of justice, obviously we would be done. If it were in some pursuit of justice, it never would have begun to begin with. However, that's not what this is about. So it's the legal equivalent of trying to jam a square peg into a round hole. It's the political version of the Duke lacrosse case, where I know from the word go where I'm going to end up. It's what road am I going to take to get there? Okay, well, this road is closed. Well, now we'll do a detour. Okay, well, sir, that detour is 1,700 miles out of the way. Doesn't matter. We're going to get where we're going to get to. But hey, we don't really need to get there because getting there doesn't do anything for us. Doesn't matter. We're going to get there. So normally I would say, yes, you're right. We would be done here, but we're not going to be done here because done here will end when this guy is indicted, this guy being Trump. However, it's making Trump look better by the minute.
Now, total sidebar, did you happen to see the AI-generated pictures
I did.
Of Trump being arrested?
I did, and that is very scary that people can produce that.
Yeah.
So the AI photos are like the AI video to me, and you know this, Casey. I have 20/10 vision. The last time I took a vision test, the eye vision man who administers the test was so impressed.
The eye vision man? You mean the optometrist?
Oh, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Well, we used to have a little bit different insurance than we have here, and it was covered under the insurance plan. I no longer have that, so I can't, just for fun, go impress myself with how far down the chart that I can get. But I made it to the bottom row, and he was like, very few people ever make it to the bottom row. So I can see the difference in the AI versus the reality, but I have to look very hard. And so I would see where the average person would not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, it was trending big time yesterday afternoon when those were released.
So for those of you who don't know, it's like there's artificial intelligence
Struggle.
photos. Yes, he's running from police. He's in handcuffs fighting. He's being drugged. He being Trump. And you would have to look very hard. If you do not have 20/10 vision and cannot make it to the bottom row, I can see how people would maybe believe it was real.
And if it were to go down, I really doubt it would look like that. It is 15 minutes after 9. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning.
93 WIBC.
Mike Pence is criticizing pursuing charges against former President Donald Trump.
This tells you everything you need to know about the radical left in this country.
Insisted that New York City has bigger problems to worry about.
Greatest witch hunt.
Hear the news.
President Xi Jinping to the Russian capital.
How it may impact the world order.
Fanning the flames of chaos.
Another update is just minutes away.
Recent bank failures.
Silicon Valley Bank.
Our banking system is sound.
93 WIBC.
Mom, Dad, Sis?
Here we go again.
Why are you in a suit? Picture, if you will, a world with the best network imaginable. I'm talking about the Xfinity 10G network. Go on. Mom, remember how your reality shows wouldn't load with all of us online? Now you can binge. And Susie, we'll have fast internet in the basement.
Nice.
If you have any questions, here's my card.
This is just your name on a gum wrapper.
Introducing the 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through April 23rd, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Plus, there's no annual contract required and you get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Doing more in the community means that I get out and I volunteer.
Hi, I'm Hannah Yeagerbush here at Teachers Treasures, and we nominated David Barabee because he's such a great volunteer leader. He does so much for us to make our mission possible to serve teachers in Marion County.
And I'm Jiffy Lube owner Steve Sanner. At Jiffy Lube, we are proud to support Hoosier charities that use their vehicles to do more to make Indiana a better place to live.
My vehicle really allows me the ability to be where they need me. Either downtown, at the store, or out on a route, or working for the mobile operator.
Jiffy Lube of Indiana provides all of our Do More winners with free vehicle maintenance for a year. Because now at Jiffy Lube, our trained technicians do more to keep vehicles like theirs and yours on the road. Brakes, tires, batteries, and more. As well as Indiana's favorite oil change since 1985.
Jiffy Lube accepts competitors' coupons, so you don't have to choose between saving a few dollars versus treating your vehicle to Jiffy Lube's award-winning service. Click on JiffyLubeIndiana.com for a Jiffy Lube near you.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you lost out on $111,000 in retirement income?
Probably not great.
Yeah, so get this. 96% of Americans lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Kendall and Casey.
Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Dummery, your retirement guy right here in Indy. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. This free, customized analysis shows you exactly how to get the most out of your Social Security benefits, and it won't cost you a dime. Call 317-932-9912. That's 317-932-9912.
At Mucinex, we don't believe in cold and flu season. We only believe in comeback season, which starts with 12-hour relief. Just one dose of Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for cough and chest congestion day or night. That's 3 times longer than those 4-hour cough liquids. So say goodbye to cold and flu season and hello to comeback season with Mucinex DM. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cold and cough medicine. Get relief that lasts with Mucinex DM. Use as directed.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the first step to peace of mind is controlling your power with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer, Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808.
Get your air conditioner ready for spring and the hot summer ahead. On the south side, call Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Call themarshallnow.com, your American Standard air dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
He's a criminal, that's who he is. A vigilante, a public menace.
And Casey Daniels.
Wow, she's an angel.
On 93 WIBC.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay?
20 minutes after 9. Good morning. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And let's take a look at what is trending this morning. First up, it's the Tennessee librarian. This is a director who was fired after verbally abusing actor Kirk Cameron. He was there to appear at a story hour for his book. He was there alongside NCAA swimmer and Trump backer Riley Gaines. Now, you might remember Riley Gaines. She swam for, I believe it was Kentucky, and she tied with Leah Thompson, who was the biological... Thomas,
yes,
who was the biological male who decided to compete in
Can we
women's
stop
swimming.
saying biological male? Can we just say male? She is a man who competed against women.
Okay.
If you still have the parts, you are that. That is the rule, Casey. That is the official rule of the Kendall and Casey show. If you are willing to chop off something, then we're in, or grow the genitalia in question. If you're chopping it off or growing it, we'll give you credit. If you still got any of the stuff, then you're that thing.
Okay. Well, here is Riley, and she's trying to record a message speaking out against males in women's sports. And you can hear in the background, the librarian keeps slamming books down on the ground to disrupt the recording. Well, Riley finally walked over to her and had some words.
Doesn't have to be stressful.
And just roll into it as soon as you're ready.
Okay. Hi everyone, Riley Gaines here.
As a college swimmer, I went up against some of the best female athletes in the world. But not long ago, it became okay for biological men to compete against women in swimming. This made it much harder for hardworking female competitors such as myself to succeed. I've found that most competitors are too scared to speak out. Okay, this is just immature, and it's honestly extremely disrespectful.
That is.
Like, you guys are old enough to know that that is, like, extremely disrespectful.
Yes.
Like, to slam your feet or books or whatever on the ground, that's pretty ridiculous. We have 60 more seconds, and that's all that we ask of you guys. And it would be made quicker if we weren't slamming books and stomping our feet.
I'm with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good on her.
Yeah.
Good on her.
She stood up for herself. She was like, you know what, 60 seconds. Let's just get through this and then we'll be out of here.
What is the, by the way, okay, so when I was in school, and I realized that was many, many years ago, but when I was in school, the librarian was some nice little, oftentimes older lady.
Quiet.
Who just really loved to read to kids and tell you the Dewey Decimal System.
Right.
And now these librarians, more and more, are these radical. I mean, we talked with Micah about this. He's on that Hamilton County Library Board, and there are complete, not maybe necessarily the librarians in this case, but people who are obsessed with the library that are just leftist maniacs who are mad, like, that kids can't you have to go to an adult section to look at porn or read about porn. I mean, I don't even get it anymore, Casey.
Well, and good for Riley Gaines for stopping the recording, walking over, saying, hey, you know what? Just let us finish.
Yeah.
And then she began recording again without being interrupted.
She could have just done like Boone did in Animal House and said, hey, knock it off, you a-holes.
Also, audio that's trending this morning is Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, your boyfriend.
Here he is on his thoughts on China.
So here's the thing, Stuart. We live in a moment where we demand not Chamberlain, but more Churchill. What do I mean by that? If we think on the timescales of history, we actually win. And so what's happening right now is China is deputizing U.S. companies to advance their own geopolitical agendas. They're using the appearance of global capitalism as a tool to advance their agendas. Here's the thing, Stuart, though. If we're willing to actually make a sacrifice, that's precisely when we will never have to make one. You want to know why? China's in a pretty weak position now. Xi Jinping actually did a lot of damage to China to try to hold on to power for his unprecedented third term through last October. This creates an opportunity for us, Stuart, where if we're willing to make that sacrifice, to say that we'll ban U.S. businesses from doing business in China until the CCP reforms itself, I think we will actually see China reform its behaviors. And we need to seize that opportunity with courage, not with fear. That's what I intend to do as president.
Okay, so here's the flip side of that. What if they did that to us?
Well, my bigger question is, we as the state now are paying this guy $4,000 an hour, according to Indiana Capitol Chronicle.
Right.
Were we paying him to be on the TV show? Remember, he's supposed to be helping with the in-person, make sure we don't invest in woke things.
Right.
What is that part of? Is he jotting that time down? Are we paying for that time?
No, that's him campaigning for quote unquote president.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. What was your question, Casey?
What if we did to China what he is saying, or what if China did to us what he is saying? He's pretty much saying we need to just ban all China, quit trade with them.
Right.
It'll completely destroy their economy.
Yes.
Well, what if they turned around and did the same thing to us?
Yes, this is why these people who want to ban interaction with countries or whatever are not serious. There's no way with the U.S. economy you could actually... Now, you could certainly do things to create a much more level playing field, a la what Donald Trump did and was pretty successful at least implementing some things. But you're never going to opt out of dealing with China.
Right. And keep in mind, China is a literal dying demographic with their aging population. If the U.S. wants to grow, we need to get in better with India. That is the growth market. Finally, trending this morning, Chick-fil-A. They have announced that they're getting rid of the spring salad off of their menu. They posted, "We are spring cleaning here at Chick-fil-A and taking the opportunity to refresh our menu. The side salad's last day will be April 1st.
Okay, now we have to get to something very important. Not to say trending stories are not important, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on today. It is the Biden Madness National Championship for the Hammer and Nigel show. The sentimental Kendall and Casey show favorite, Velvet, is on the ballot, made it to the finals. Nice win yesterday over America in a Single Word. And now it is the national championship. Velvet, Happy Birthday Velvet, against You Ain't Black.
Last night it was tied, 50-50.
It's currently tied. So now we will begin Operation Bal Harvesting because we not only want Velvet to win, we want it in a rout to win the Hammer and Nigel Biden Madness Championship because Velvet will be the people's champion. And Velvet, look, here's the thing, Casey. So head over to Hammer and Nigel on Twitter right now. Vote for Velvet. That is the Kendall and Casey show. That is our darling. It'll be a victory for all of us together. And I've already told Hammer and Nigel that if Velvet does indeed win, Velvet has a list of demands that I will read on Off the Rails this afternoon.
We're going to change policy.
We are going to change this state. Velvet comes in with a Rolodex.
Yeah.
But we need an overwhelming victory for Velvet to have that mandate.
Let's not even have it in question.
Right. At Hammer and Nigel, go vote. Happy birthday, Velvet.
9:27, it is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Hey, good morning. It's Casey. I have a question for you. Do you have a garage? If you do, consider Galaxy Concrete Coatings. I'd like to share a review on Galaxy Concrete Coatings with you from Scott. He said, everyone I met was friendly and left no mess at all. Showed up early, ready to work, made repairs, and completely finished in one day. Made a huge improvement on how it looked, was happy with the price. Call Galaxy Concrete Coatings today, 317-751-9070. Find them online, galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
Chapters of this story take a whole month to tell. This is May. It starts with twists and turns on the IMS road course for the GMR Grand Prix. Then PPG presents Armed Forces Indy 500 qualifying and the Firestone Fast 6 shootout. May continues with Indy's biggest party, Miller Lite Card Day. And all roads lead to the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gamebridge. This is where heroes become legends and legends become legendary. This is May. Buy now and save. Get tickets at IMS.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A popular app, Under the Microscope. It's 63 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Lawmakers are deep diving into TikTok on Capitol Hill. Fox's Eben Brown.
TikTok CEO Shojin Chu will testify on Capitol Hill today. He's expected to argue that the popular video-centric social network is not a threat to personal privacy or national security. Cho made his own TikTok video.
Some politicians have started talking about banning TikTok. Now, this could take TikTok away from all 150 million of you.
That desired ban is due to TikTok's suspicious ties to China's Communist Party. Eben Brown, Fox News.
A body has been found near the location of the Denver East High School shooting suspect's SUV in Colorado. On Wednesday, a student is said to have pulled out a gun at the school and shot 2 faculty members. Now, police say that they've found a body near the student's SUV about 50 miles from the school. And now a check of the stock report. We are in the green big time. The Dow is up 57 points to 32,315. The Nasdaq up 122 to 12,829. And the S&P 500 is up 19 to 3,990. I'm Kurt Darling. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus. Our tax refund sale is back. We guarantee you the lowest price, free delivery, interest refinancing, and now through Monday, we pay your sales tax on top of the sale price. Lowest prices of the year on Lazy Boy, Indiana-made Smith Brothers, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, outdoor furniture by Berlin Gardens and Hollywood. Everything in the store is on sale now through Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Spring in Indy. And since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
I was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
Business owners, you too can get the 25-year protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
No phone call on Sunday. Flowers are a Mother's Day card. It ain't no
93 WIBC. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob, and Casey's here, and oh, look who it is. 30 years in the Indiana Senate.
Robert.
Jim Merritt, how are you, my friend?
Well.
Now, you were also the 2019 Republican nominee for mayor, and so we will lean on your expertise for this next conversation. Casey and I don't know if you know this, Jim. Casey and I have a new best friend. Did we tell you about this?
No.
It's a Jefferson Shreve guy.
Yeah.
Because he has what we call infinite money.
Yes.
And we need more rich friends. So Jefferson Shreve is a
He's also a client.
Yes, we are staying employed this week based on the amount of ads Jefferson Shreve is running on WIBC and other TV stations. So for those who don't know, he is a former member of the city county council, decided to run for mayor on the Republican side, and he has announced he is spending $600,000 just on TV and radio. Mm-hmm. And so you, as the most recent Republican nominee for mayor, you got to look at $600,000 in a primary and go, I should have been nicer to that guy.
Well, Jefferson's a longtime friend of mine. Abdul's a longtime friend, and so is Reverend James Jackson, the other candidate. And Casey and Robert, I'm not really sure about Jefferson Shreve's campaign right now. He's a wonderful person, but you've got to focus on the primary. Mm-hmm. You've got to talk about that there's a primary election here. And this enormous buy that he has made initially, people don't know who Jefferson is. And people don't even know there's a primary election coming on. And I think it should have been well-spent money to open up with a introductory, hi, I'm Jefferson Shreve, and this is what I want to do.
He's right now pointing out all of the problems we're experiencing in Indianapolis.
Yes, and he's going after the mayor. But that's general election. Mm-hmm. He has to beat Abdul. He has to beat Jackson, and it's a whiff. It's a whiff to have this first round. I hope it's a first round of ads, because you need to introduce. People need to know who you are, and you've got to get that primary voter, that Republican voter, out to vote, and that's really difficult.
So there's some person, I would assume, he's paying to, what do they call them, consultants or whatever, to advise him.
And not very well.
Well, I was going to ask you, how do these meetings go? Do you all get around a table and you go, okay, here's what the ad should be, here's how the ad buy should be, here's where the ad buy should be? I mean, how does it go putting together an ad? Because I'm with you, Jim. I think you got to do the opening ad. The people who are going to vote in a primary know what the issues are. Right. You got to say, look, here's who I am. Here's why I'm running. Here's what I'm going to do if you elect me. And welcome to the world. We'll get into the details as time goes on. He didn't really do any of that in those ads.
He really didn't. In his first opening statement, when he announced he was running for election for the primary, was very conservative. And I thought, well, he's going after the southern part of the county because the 3 townships are very Republican. That's the base. And so I thought, that's a pretty good start. But there wasn't that many. There wasn't an introductory biography of this is who I am.
Right.
And to answer your question directly, I'm not sure who's advising him, but people do get around the table. They offer ideas to Jefferson Shreve, and I just think it was a bunt, and they needed a home run to start.
Rob and I actually were looking up details about him to see who he was, and we actually had this conversation of why he was running, and my side was, well, he must care about Indianapolis and he wants to see things change, and Rob's side was, no, he's a bored rich guy. So which is it?
Well, his ad, to be fair, part of his ad says he's a winner. I think I would have really gone into more biographical, and he is an outstanding businessman. It's just how that translates into being mayor. And I also would have talked more about May. And I think he just needs to kind of get those advisors together and really get to the point where this is why I want to be mayor, and this is who I am.
If you are Abdul, and we talked about this a little bit on State House Happenings, if you're Abdul, you kind of run, you get in, you think, well, okay, I've got a little bit of celebrity type status, certainly inside the political sphere, even outside. People see me on TV, they've heard me on radio. So I'm going to enter kind of as the front runner, and I'm going to plot along towards, I may have some competition, but I'll probably be able to beat that. I'm going to kind of plot and save and plan towards November. Well, now you got to kind of make changes, or do you make changes, or what do you do if you're Abdul? Because I don't think you plan on a guy spending $600 grand at the primary.
No, but it's a great opportunity for Abdul to say, to spend money, because you got to do it at mid-March right now, and you got 6 weeks maybe. I don't know what his plan is, but the plan should be get on the airwaves. This is who I am. There is a primary election. And take advantage of the void that ad that Jefferson put out there created.
So Abdul should allow Jefferson at this point to just keep pointing out all of the problems with Hogsett and instead introduce himself.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are forums going on, and
those forums are such a waste of time.
Well, you got to go through them.
I know.
I mean,
but
it's
man,
a gauntlet.
You could be out knocking on doors. You could hit 200 doors in the time it takes to go to those forums, and everybody already knows who they're voting for in those forums.
Really, at the end of the day, what the individual who's running for mayor, who's in a primary election, and Robin Shackelford needs to think about this too, is you have to go after the primary voter and give them a reason to, number one, vote in the primary, and why to vote for you.
Jim Merritt, our guest, former member of the Indiana Senate, also the most recent Republican nominee for mayor in the city of Indianapolis. Yeah, I used to hate those forums too, though, because I would sit there the whole time and think, almost everyone here knows who they're voting for, and I could hit 200 doors in the 2 or 3 hours I'm sitting here talking to people who I'm not going to change their mind. The people who go to the chamber lunches, the people who go to the Washington Township Republican Club, they already know.
Well, think about me. I'm in a debate with the mayor, and I've got the issues down, and the mayor's got a 3-ring binder looking down at his sheet, trying to figure out what the answer to the question is.
Yeah.
And so frustration city there, Robert.
Speaking of the mayor, so he does have what I would say is a viable Democrat challenger, Robin Shackelford. She's a state rep. She had a big thing, according to Indy Star yesterday, on crime and a new plan for crime. But she's going up against a guy who's won 2 elections in a row. Clearly, people in this city don't care about crime based on the fact that Ryan Mears was reelected. And he starts with whatever. He's got $3 million in the bank. If you're Robin Shackelford, you might have come out a little bit sooner on all the things Hogsett's doing wrong.
Well, on State House Happenings, we did talk about this. The mayor of Chicago was taken down because they made her the issue.
Yeah.
And what Robin needs to do relatively quickly now, and she kind of blew it with this, is the mayor needs to be the issue. This is her opponent. She has very little time, and the media will give you a chance or two, and I imagine they did give her a chance on this crime package, but she has to direct everything towards why she's a better candidate in the general election other than Mayor Joe Hogsett. She has to take down the king.
Have there been any polling done, and at this point, does it matter?
I think it matters for Abdul and Jefferson Shreve. I think what I would be doing after a massive buy is, after 7-10 days, I'm Jefferson Shreve. I'm getting out in the field to see if the message is getting through. If I've misjudged it and people understand who Jefferson Shreve is, and that's not the case. It'd have to be incredible repetition. But yes, I think polling for both Abdul and Jefferson Shreve is a necessity. I can't speak for the Robin Shackelford campaign because she didn't even label who she's running against.
Yeah, it's by the way, do you think Shreve would want to be our friends? Do you think he would be friends with us?
I think,
or is he the sort of person who would want no part of us?
I think Jefferson Shreve is a very nice person, and I'm sure he'd be a good friend of yours.
He's a very nice person, so no.
But he has a very nice home somewhere, probably numerous homes.
He has not accepted my Twitter request, by the way.
He's not doing a very good job.
Still pending.
Hey, before we let you go, Merritt, your buddies in the state government, the gas tax went up again.
Yes.
They don't seem to care at all.
And property taxes are on the way in May.
How do the Republicans not care? I mean, you have the highest gas taxes in the nation. You have skyrocketing property taxes. And these guys, they don't even pretend to care.
Yeah, well,
it's amazing.
To be fair, they're going to get a budget, and they've done a really good job with health care this year. But the property tax issue is looming, and you know how we disagree on the user fee, that is gas tax.
But this tax on gas is not even a user fee. It's totally just at the whim of whatever the price of gas is. So we talked about this on State House Happenings. That excuse of, we need it for the roads and the planning. You can't plan on anything with this because it's based on the price of gas.
Yeah. It's fun, isn't it?
Did you ever get old defending these frauds? I mean, come on. Hey, real quick before I let you go, you going to run for governor? What are you doing?
Thinking about it. I think we've got time. Our three candidates for governor right now are very nice
they're so
people.
uninspiring, aren't they?
Yeah, no vision. They got to have vision for the future of the state of Indiana, and I'm just not seeing it, Robert.
At what point do you have to throw your hat in the ring?
I think June.
Okay.
I think with social media, Casey, and everything that you have to talk about and reach people, I think you've got time.
Jim Merritt, find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Vote now on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel, the finals of Biden madness. Someone will cut down the nets this afternoon. And we've also got the biggest stories of the day. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
I realize the complexities of the human body and its ability to heal itself.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog talking about regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
It's a very well thought out process, and they use it in all the professional teams around the world.
Regenerative medicine uses healing agents from your own body, like your blood or bone marrow, highly concentrated and delivered right to the achy joint.
By putting it in the spot where it can't normally get to, you can facilitate healing.
At QC Kinetics, they are the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine. Lasting pain relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery.
People are very happy to have an opportunity to get better without going through the entirety of a medical procedure.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. Learn more about regenerative options that could help you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
Spring is a key time for selling homes in Indianapolis. Now is the time to hire the agent that has the proven marketing plan to maximize the price of your home fast. Now is the time to hire the agent I recommend, Mark Dietl. Maybe you're worried you missed the boat on selling for maximum price. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Melissa and Leonard in Mooresville had to say about working with Mark Dietl. We needed to move out of the state for a job change and needed to sell quickly. We heard about Mark Dietl on the radio, and everything Mark claims is true. Our home sold in 25 days for cash, the price we needed, but we're afraid we wouldn't get. Hire Mark Dietl. Call the agent I trust and recommend for the details. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietl.com. That's markdietl.com.
One day, former pro football offensive tackle Mitch Schwartz just happened to walk into Diamonds Direct with his wife, Brooke.
The store blew us away. We both got back to the car after. We were like, oh my gosh, like we didn't realize that this awesome store was right in the middle of Overland Park. And there was a huge selection.
Today, Mitch and Brooke are frequent shoppers at Diamonds Direct.
Oh, Brooke is very happy about her jewelry. Every few months we make our way to Diamonds Direct and there's another 3 or 4 pieces that catch her eyes.
What they love is there's never any sales pressure at Diamonds Direct. In fact, they often end up spending less than they expected.
We want to make sure everything's tasteful, everything's done right, and that's another advantage of Diamonds Direct is they're not just going to sell you the largest thing, the most expensive thing that you'll buy. They'll find what fits your finger the best.
Are you shopping for that engagement ring or that romantic piece of jewelry for the one you love? Wander into Diamonds Direct, like Mitch did, and you'll be blown away as well.
Diamonds Direct is great, and it's just a great place to shop.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get directions, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, changing the way Indie thinks about concrete.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
9:47. Good morning. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And if you head over to WIBC.com and look up the side piece, well, there's some articles there. Do Hoosiers get a good return on their investment from taxes?
Now, wait. We're told repeatedly about what great value you get to live in Indiana. Mm-hmm. We're told by the Republicans how you should shut up and pay. Mm-hmm. I got told by somebody yesterday, it could be worse. Mm-hmm. It could be Illinois.
Yeah. Tax day coming up Tuesday, April 18th. Now, I know you're saying, well, why isn't it on the 15th like normal? Well, that's because the 15th falls on a Saturday, and typically the next business day would be tax day, yes. But that would be Monday, April 17th. But that is also the date of Emancipation Day, which in the District of Columbia they celebrate, and the IRS observes and closes their offices that day. Therefore, tax day is April 18th this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you wait till the last minute to pay if you owe?
No, I've already sent those checks.
Why do you give the government your money in advance? Why would you do that?
I wanted to get it done and out of the way. It's like one of those things that looms and hangs over you. And
it takes like 2 seconds to send it in.
To write a big check?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So what? I mean, come on, woman. You're giving the government your money a month and a half in advance? Mm-hmm. Why would you do that?
Like I said, I just want to get it done and over with. It's off.
They're not rushing to give you your money back when they take
off my plate now. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
I put it behind me.
You have
the anger, in the angst. I've already moved on, Rob.
You have anger. It's okay. So I guess it's different though to say doing my taxes caused me anger and angst. I would understand that. I would think someone of your infinite wealth would have a professional do it for you. But
I do.
But once you know,
and it's not infinite wealth. I think you're threading a yarn there.
Oh, it was Casey's so rich that when they showed her what she was going to make to come here, she said, "Puh, I'm doing it for fun."
That's hardly the truth.
But what anger and angst? There may be anger because you know you're giving it to a giant waste pit, which is the government. But what angst is there? You write the check, you put it in the mail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That causes you angst?
Yes, it's the anxiety of the whole thing, filling out the form and sending it in and all of it.
Wow.
Because it's not just me. I mean, I got to make sure the kids got hers done and then...
Your kid's an adult. If you can let somebody go to spring break on their own, they can do their taxes on their own.
Well, you know what? And you asked, does it get done professionally? Yes, it does get done professionally. And then those papers get sent to the home address. And then the dude had to go up to Lafayette so she could sign those papers. So then we could send those in.
You never see your child?
It's a process.
You have made this far too complicated. I'm going to streamline your entire life. You give me a couple weeks, I will have everything just completely streamlined for you.
This is actually an argument the dude and I actually had. He said, I did all this work, and I said, it would have taken me 2 hours just to
Yeah,
Be done.
Yeah,
It's him who's making it difficult.
Well,
not me.
that seems about right. Yes, I owed money this year, and when I owe money, I wait and wait and wait and wait. Why wouldn't I wait? I'm not doing anything illegal or unethical. I am abiding by the rules set forth. You can either take a check and put it in the mail. They also allow you to log on to there's some sort of website where you can pay via electronically. What?
What?
Good?
The state of Indiana needed my money, apparently.
Yes, it's going to a good cause. Speaking of which.
Yeah, 73% of taxpayers think the government doesn't use their taxes wisely. It's a painful reminder.
Who are what was it, 73%?
73%.
Who are the 27% that are that stupid because I have a piece of swampland?
They're thinking it's all okay.
That I'd like to sell them. Who wakes up every day and goes, I really feel my government is efficiently using the resources I allocate to them?
Well, a lot of people don't. And Wallet Hub did this big survey. They have a lot of different, 5 categories: education, health, safety, economy, and infrastructure.
Indiana, no doubt, number one. We're the best.
Yep. Out of the 50 states, they, of course, rank all of them for
number one.
Return on investment.
All Republicans, no doubt. We're very efficient, limited government. Everybody's very pleased with what they're getting. We're number one, right?
Indiana scored at number 29.
Well, that's not number one.
That's not number one at all.
So isn't that interesting? Because, of course, again, we talked about this. Remember last week, I think we talked about this, where Indiana isn't overall taxation, and they're right in the middle of the pack, which is basically where we are here, too. So multiple studies now determining either return on investment or the actual taxation, despite having Republican supermajorities, a Republican governor, we're not getting a good return, and people feel they're overtaxed. How is that possible when the platform of the Republican Party, the anchor platform of the Republican Party, is supposed to be low taxes and limited government?
Yeah. For overall government assistance programs, Indiana ranked at number 18. For education, this was our best category. We came in at 14 in the nation.
Yeah.
For health, it was not good. 31.
Now,
that was our worst.
Well, and this is wild, Casey, because under lockdown McGee and then Pence before him, we've seen a massive expansion of socialized medicine, in which basically almost anybody under the sun can waltz down to 200 West Washington and get a reduced insurance plan. So how is that possible despite all the massive Medicaid expansion, which is Obamacare, but we don't call it Obamacare because we got a bunch of gutless, cowardly, pathological liars down the street from us who don't have the guts to walk through the front door. We call it HIP 2.0. How is that possible despite the Republicans' massive expansion of Obamacare in the state? We're 31st. It's almost like government health care doesn't work.
Other states are doing it better. For safety and economy, Indiana scored 20 and then 18.
Yeah.
And if you want to know which state has the best return on investment for taxpayers, you have to go to New Hampshire, then Florida, Alaska, South Dakota, and then Texas.
How is it possible, Casey, if indeed, as we always hear at the conventions and the speeches, the Republican way is the way to prosperity and a better life? If that is indeed the case, then how is it possible that a state with all Republican everything consistently is either average or below average when it comes to taxation and the value that the citizenry of the state believes they're getting in terms of the taxation? How is that possible? Now, that lunatic guy that called and yelled at me the other day because we're having the audacity to talk about
property taxes.
Yes, the actual taxation and the voting record of Republicans. Why don't you be a tough guy and call the hotline back and tell me how it's possible that if Republicans are the way, if the Indiana Republican Party is the way, if I'm so offensive for pointing out the voting record, why do clearly in poll after poll people believe I'm right?
According to Wallet Hub, red states offer a better return on investment than blue states, and I'm sure you can guess it, the state with the worst taxpayer return on investment, California. 9:55, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month. With no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. With the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Offer ends 4/4/23. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
For a limited time at Tire Discounters, a free alignment is now included with every tire purchased, even one.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. May I help you?
I doubt it.
Say, aren't you Ralph, the manager over at Tire Box?
Nope.
Okay.
Anywho, I only need one tire, so I guess I don't get none of your gimmicks, right?
Gimmicks? Even if you need just one tire, you still get lifetime rotation,
Gimmick,
lifetime balancing,
gimmick,
and
left one out, didn't you?
And now a free alignment is included with every tire purchased, even one.
See store for details.
Pat Sullivan here. The floodgates are about to open in Indiana as spring approaches. Do you know if your sump pump is working properly? A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains and rising waters that do nothing but leave damage in your home. During the month of March, my friends at Hope Plumbing will buy back your old sump pump for $300 with the purchase of an upgraded sump pump and a new battery backup system. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Spring is in the air at Sundown Gardens in Westfield. Sundown Gardens is your spring headquarters on the north side for trees, shrubs, annuals, perennials, mulch, pottery, and more. Sundown Gardens has a big announcement, a second location coming later this spring.
That's right, Denny. Miss M's Home and Garden by Sundown Gardens is coming to my neck of the woods in Bargersville on State Road 135 several weeks from now. But for now, see all that Sundown Gardens in Westfield has to offer for spring at 186th and Spring Mill Road. SundownGardens.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Delaware County Fairgrounds in Muncie. The best dealers in the region will be at the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show. Just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Delaware County Fairgrounds in Muncie. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, how police say a shooting happened on the south side early this morning, but also a lot of rain is going to dump a lot in Indiana, and that may mean flooding. Also, some of the plans for Indianapolis from one candidate for mayor. I'm Kurt Darling. All that and more coming up from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
We are not an agent of China. That's what I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what TikTok CEO will be trying to convince lawmakers at a House hearing about to start into the app's security concerns. Shou Zichu said going in,
we commit to keep TikTok free. A free place for freedom of expression without any manipulation by any government.
He has an ally in Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman.
It poses about the same threat that companies like Facebook and Instagram. Let's not be racist.
Some TikTok content creators are worried.
A ban on TikTok would be devastating.
TikTok ban wouldn't just put my business at risk.
95% of my livelihood would disappear overnight.
Here's Fox's Mark Meredith.
The company is owned by a Chinese-based company called ByteDance, and we've been hearing a lot of questions about whether or not China may indirectly use this app to try to target, spy on, or influence Americans.
And again, there's also concern about the security of users' data being potentially shared with China. A Manhattan grand jury in New York City may reconvene today, considering indicting former President Trump.
Grand jury is now in possession of a 2018 letter from a former attorney of Michael Cohen, the one-time Trump lawyer, stating Cohen admits to paying money to adult film actress Stormy Daniels of his own accord and expected no reimbursement from Donald Trump. It contradicts the narrative laid down by prosecutors who say that payment amounted to a campaign finance felony.
Fox's Eben Brown. The day after 17-year-old student shot and wounded 2 East High School administrators in Denver, they've identified Austin Lyle's body found in some woods near his car. He opened fire while they were searching him for a gun.
Lyle was already subject to what officials at Denver's East High School called a safety plan, under which he was required to be patted down daily before entering the school.
That's Fox's Jonathan Hunt. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It'll be wet everywhere. 63 with rain starting to move in on radar. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. You can expect a lot of rain to fall within the span of a few hours later this evening. Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service is not expecting anything overly severe.
No, I'm not expecting severe weather. Maybe some pea-sized hail at most.
But he does say anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain could fall, mainly in southern Indiana, and that could cause some issues with flooding. State Rep Robin Shackelford is running for mayor of Indianapolis. Wednesday, she laid out some of her priorities. Parker Carlson reports.
At Dewberry Park, Shackelford spoke about her plans for public safety, starting with improving IMPD, increasing their base salaries to $65,000 to recruit more officers and be more competitive. She also wants to reestablish the public safety director, a civilian job with oversight over Indianapolis's police and fire departments. With more oversight, Shackelford plans to reform body cam video policies for officer-involved shootings by releasing the video within 48 hours of the incident. Her full plans can be found at robin4indy.com. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Knox County coroner has been arrested by Indiana State Police. Karen Donovan was taken to jail after troopers searched her home on a warrant and found meth and fentanyl inside the search after a year-long investigation into Donovan. AES Indiana, which provides power for much of central Indiana, is asking state regulators for a rate decrease.
We're able to offer that savings to our customers, and we're holding on to that positivity.
Kelly Young with AES talking to Wish TV as they, along with Duke Energy for much of the rest of the state, are both asking regulators for a decrease of about $23 to $26 a month for energy customers. Penn State basketball coach Micah Shrewsbury is being courted as Notre Dame's new basketball coach. CBS Sports reporting that he and the school have reached a 7-year deal for Shrewsbury, who's also an Indianapolis native. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I had a colonoscopy. They didn't get very far before they found the tumor. My name is Andrea, and I am a colorectal cancer survivor. I had signs and symptoms for 10 years, and come to find out, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. By 2030, colorectal cancer is slated to be the #1 cancer-related death in those under 50, and that is unacceptable. The screening age for colonoscopies has been lowered to 45. Early detection is key.
Be unstoppable. Prioritize your health. It could save your life.
The 100% sure way to catch colorectal cancer is through a colonoscopy.
Schedule your colonoscopy today at franciscanhealth.org/coloncare.
All of my surgeries were done at Franciscan. I knew that I was in good hands.
This hour is powered by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Johnson County.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The idea that because some guy down the street from you sold his home, you should have to pay more taxes is wholly ridiculous. The whole thing is a giant scam.
And Casey Daniels.
Sounds like the Indiana Republican Party needs to work on their P&L statements. Taking this much, you spend this much.
On on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, March 23rd.
Why are you yelling at me?
Where were you?
You're just, it's such a woman move. Where I'm literally sitting in the studio. I'm working on getting our phone calls ready for 10:30. I'm sitting right next to her. The light is on. You can see me sitting in there.
You were in there?
Yes.
I didn't know you were in there.
And Casey
I thought you were
comes
in the
screaming
bathroom.
down the hallway.
Rob! I did not. I said, Rob! Because the intro to the show is starting and you are MIA.
I have told you this.
I need you 100%
Casey.
right here with me.
Casey.
What?
Did I not tell you from the very beginning, because you freaked out very early on, I will never leave you alone. I know exactly when I'm supposed to be back in here.
Okay.
I timed it up perfectly. I was sitting right in this chair as soon as the segment began.
Mm-hmm.
You little lady just need to calm down and know the man will take care of everything.
I had no idea where you were. I didn't know you were right
Did you think
there.
I just ran away? Did you think I was just walking around the circle, stuck in an elevator somewhere?
You come sauntering in with whatever you've got, your water,
My water.
your coffee, whatever. Like
You're
it's all...
sauntering in with your water. The height of arrogance. Casey, I will
Here we
always,
go.
I will
It's
always,
been a year. The wheels are falling off.
I will always
gang.
be here for you. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you. It is Thursday, March 23rd, 7 minutes after 10. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So here's a question for you. Are you angry yet? You should be. Our economy is slowing, banks are reeling, inflation remains high, real incomes are dropping, home prices are falling.
What's the problem?
And Americans everywhere are becoming poor by the minute.
And this is a big deal to you?
Yeah.
Are you one of these MAGA, ultra MAGA people who just want to be upset about everything? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm just stating facts, actually. On top of everything else, we have bank failures, panic over bank failures.
Yes. There's nothing about. No, let me rephrase that. You would really struggle if you stopped the average person on the street and said, "Tell me what is going well right now in American life."
Mm-hmm.
If you could find an intellectually honest broker on the street and say, "What is going really well right now in American life?" Normally there are ebbs and flows. Something might be going well, domestically, maybe there's some issues abroad, because through much of for whatever you want to say about the Iraq War, Afghanistan, obviously those were horrific and terrible and should have never happened. But economically, for most of the Bush presidency until 2008, it was a pretty good time in the economy. Things were going pretty well from, say, 2003 till about mid-2006. So while domestically or foreign policy, there's a failure domestically, things are going well. It's pretty rare that everything sucks at once.
Mm-hmm.
And under Biden, everything sucks.
Yeah. And let's not forget about the border chaos, the catastrophic pullout from Afghanistan, the inflation that just keeps going. We were told it was transitory. It's not transitory. And the only thing the Biden administration wants to do is blame Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Biden and the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, and also the Fed chair, they've orchestrated just a reckless trashing of our economy. But if you ask them, it's all good.
Yeah, so Corinne Jean-Pierre had a press conference yesterday, and, well, she said there's no signs of recession. They're not planning on a recession. And hopefully, Casey, that's more accurate than their claim inflation would be transitory. Take a listen.
We do not see a recession or pre-recession. We see a strong economy, and it's because of the work that this president has done.
Mm-hmm. It's the work that he's done. Let's keep in mind that the economy was actually growing when Joe Biden took office. Inflation was only at 1.4%. Not anymore.
No.
It's not like that
It's
now.
much higher than that.
It is much higher than that.
Transitioning, that's a dangerous word to say now. So
moving on.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, Casey.
Changing subjects.
One of the things that I think is really interesting, and we talk about this quite a bit on the show, is how many air quote journalists will now base their reporting on their own political ideology. The truth has no bearing on the matter. But two, the ideology of their network. Mm-hmm. And you have seen this pretty clearly I think it's really being revealed in this Fox News Dominion lawsuit. For people who haven't followed that, that's a pretty interesting thing. We don't have time to go into it now, but that's really fascinating. Obviously, MSNBC and CNN totally in the tank for the left. Now, CNN is getting better because they're worried a going out of business sale is about to happen if they don't get their act together. MSNBC does not care, but there are very few actually independent journalists out there who do the work and say, I will find the truth wherever the truth leads me. If it meets my ideology, great. If it makes my ideology happy, great. But if not, I will tell you where it's going. And because of that, we are not getting the American public is not getting the information that it needs in order to be informed about what's actually happening.
I think one of the biggest examples that I can recall is a few years ago, Sinclair Broadcasting sent out a script to all of their anchors to read, and whether the news directors of the different stations wanted to do it or not, it was mandated.
Wow.
They had to. And it was the same script, and it went out all over the country. And these anchors read the script and they made these promos and they aired, and then you might recall somebody got creative and pieced them all together and put it on the internet, and all of these anchors were reading the same script all across the country.
You know, that's one thing I will say about this place, and you know, we joke about how we make 7 cents an hour because we work in radio, but I will say that our bosses, our management, both under Smulyan when Emmis owned it and now Urban One, they don't tell us what to say. They don't. They say, speak from your heart. Speak, whatever is on your mind.
What you believe.
There are obviously rules for radio that we have to abide by. Sure. There is, a certain level of human decency that they would expect their employees to abide by. But other than that, wasn't it fascinating remember when Urban One bought us and our audience was in this mass panic of, oh my gosh, there may not even be an IBC. And if there is, it certainly will not be the same. And they're going to just totally strong arm you guys every day, and it's never going to be the same. They never tell us what to say. I'm not saying like directly, indirectly. They're just like, go have good ratings and make money. Yeah. Thanks.
Keep doing what you've been doing.
And so, and I think that shows that we are not told what to say in the difference of the shows. Every show is markedly different, both in the political views of the host, I think the political passion of the host, I think the topics that interest the host. And I think that's part of why throughout the day the station does so well. It's not every show is kind of the same show, just with the different person.
It's not the same talking points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we do need more independent people, independent thinkers. And Joe Rogan was talking about this on his show the other day. Let's hope Kevin bleeped it. Otherwise, this will be our last show.
Because if it was not for independent journalism, we would be in a pickle. We would be in a really bad state because a lot of people got duped by the pharmacological industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, the military industrial complex. They've been duped by so many different companies and corporations that have a vested interest in getting one narrative out. And if you can get that narrative out through the traditional pipelines of mainstream media with no one fact-checking, no one interfering, no independent journalist saying, actually, that's not true at all. Here's why they did that. This was the influence. Here's where the money is. We have emails. We can show you they were influenced. If it wasn't for them, we would be and it's one of the beautiful things about the internet today. The internet today allows people like that to thrive because these mainstream media corporations are so corrupt. They're so obviously indebted to the companies that pay for their advertising.
And you can see it based on who their sponsors are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one thing that the Twitter files did, is uncovered all of that.
Yeah.
Proving how there's been shadow banning of conservatives and obviously the banning of Donald Trump on various social media platforms.
All right, Casey, when we come back, we've got some great trending stories. We've got to remind everybody about the big election that's going on. Velvet has pulled into the lead, but we don't just want a victory in the Biden Madness finals. We want a rout. So we'll remind everybody about that. And America's IQ scores are falling for the first time in a century.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Don't go anywhere. Hey, Rob.
Yes.
My friend.
Yes.
Someone I'm concerned about.
Really?
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
How would you feel if you lost out on $111,000 in retirement income?
That would kind of be the world's biggest bummer.
Yeah, well, get this. 96% of Americans do lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And you know why? It's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Good morning. It's Kendall and Casey.
And learn how you could avoid this potentially colossal disaster with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy right here in Indy. We trust Bill Demery so much. We are now clients of Bill Demery, and you know how we are with our money. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, call and get your free analysis scheduled at 317-932-9912. Bill does all the heavy lifting for you, and he won't charge you a dime.
Call 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
Tony Katz.
It's best, Mr. President, that you don't know what you're guilty of. It's best that you not know that these documents pertain to conversations regarding Ukraine, where your son was having business dealings and making millions of dollars, and now they, meaning the free and thinking world, can connect your classified document, the classified documents in your possession, to things that may exist on your son's laptop.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
At Mucinex, we don't believe in cold and flu season. We only believe in comeback season, which starts with 12-hour relief. Just one dose of Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for cough and chest congestion day or night. That's 3 times longer than those 4-hour cough liquids. So say goodbye to cold and flu season and hello to comeback season with Mucinex DM. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cold and cough medicine. Get relief that lasts with Mucinex DM. Use as directed.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
It's like a jackal from hell.
And Casey Daniels.
Oh, hot. Want to touch the hiney.
On 93 WIBC.
You can't do that right before we go back on the air.
I did it. You left me right when we were going on the air.
Hurry up and get this segment over because I got to know more about that.
It's 19 minutes after 10. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Let's talk about what is trending this morning. Some audio for you. Shohei Ohtani struck out Angels teammate Mike Trout to end the World Baseball Classic.
Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
How did you get his name right?
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, how did you get that one right? You're like, the other day, you're like, Tigger, weeds.
What?
And now you got, how did you get that one right? That's like the hardest one to get right, and you knocked that out of the park.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
You know how I got it right because of the dude and his love for Sports Illustrated. Shohei Ohtani, his very first Sports Illustrated cover was with Mike Trout.
Yeah.
And then he just
That's amazing.
Struck him out.
It's just like, you're just rolling that off.
Yeah, do you speak Japanese?
No.
Casey's man is in love. Casey's man has 2, 3 loves, and I'm not sure in what order.
Mhm.
Their daughter,
Mhm.
Casey,
Mhm.
and Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
And it may depend upon the day.
Which one comes first? I would put Sports Illustrated's at number 1 for the majority of the time.
I'm very impressed you got that right. That's awesome.
Also trending, some audio from Joe Biden. It is Biden versus the teleprompter. I think he's trying to give Joe Biden a compliment. It's really hard to tell.
This is a time for celebrating extraordinary women who have made their mark in history, strengthened our nation. And like Jill, the First Lady, the first full-time lady, the First Lady who works full-time, in addition to being the First Lady, as a professor.
Mm-hmm. So she's a first-time, full-time lady. Interesting.
You know the thing.
Well. And finally trending, we have a winner in the state of Indiana. Trail 3 at Turkey Run State Park has been named to Midwest Living's Best Midwest Hike.
Oh.
So if you're into hiking and want to go somewhere, Trail 3, Turkey Run State Park
Can I
is the
just
place
make
to go.
just an editorial observation here, Casey? I mean, that's kind of what we do on
I
this
was
radio
going to
show.
say, isn't everything you say an editorial observation? But go ahead.
You know, one thing, our buddy, Governor Disingenuous down the street from us, he does this a lot, and a lot of the Republicans do this. The governor has some weird fetish with trails.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he wasn't hugged enough by the trail as a child or what happened, but he has some very, very weird trails at any cost obsession. And he's always big about how he skipped or hiked or jumped or biked or whatever on various trails. I mean, that is half of his Twitter account is I was on the so-and-so trail and then I went to the other trail. And it's it's a very weird thing, but everybody's got their own kink. So, you know, I'm not going to judge what he does in his personal time. But the governor and the Republicans never mention how they've paid for the trails, and much of the trail funding has come through massive tax increases. You may remember there was the toll on truckers a couple of years ago. We dubbed the war on truckers, which was a $1 billion tax increase on truckers. And then you may remember, obviously, the gas tax, that goes up every year. Trail's a big part of that. They never mention, it's like the trail fairy planted the trail.
Just magically
and the
appears.
trail just grew up out of the ground. So, and I know our governor would never duck and dodge how much taxes the Republicans take in and the record taxation they bring in. But if somebody could, and maybe this would not also serve Hoosiers well, I don't know. But if you could, next time you're bragging about your kink trail fetish, if you could mention how you stole money from people to pay for it, that would probably be go a long way on transparency.
It is 23 minutes after 10. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. An IQ score.
Wait.
You want to talk about your ballot?
We got to talk about Velvet.
Stuffing the ballots?
Yes, it's ballot harvesting.
Okay, we'll get to IQs in a minute.
It is the finals of Biden Madness, Hammer and Nigel Biden Madness. Bowel harvesting in full effect. Last hour, Velvet pulled ahead. We don't just want a Velvet win, though. We need a Velvet resounding victory. Happy birthday, Velvet.
We don't want any question on the ballot.
No, we want a mandate.
No hanging chads on this one.
We want a Velvet mandate so that at 5:35 today, when I go on Off the Rails with Hammer and Nigel, I will read a list of demands from the mandate given by the Kendall and Casey listeners, the WIBC listeners. So everybody, please head over to @Hammer and Nigel on Twitter. The pin right there at the top. Vote for Happy Birthday, Velvet. Let's cut down the nets, and then we can read the mandate and the list of demands at 5:35.
I can't wait. What are they?
I'm not going to give it away for free.
Okay, all right.
I'm not Holcomb. I'm not giving it away for free.
It would not serve me well at this moment. We have to win first, so let's get the win and then the demands. Okay, let's talk about these IQ scores. From 1932 until just recently, on average, IQ scores went up 3 to 5 points per decade, and it's something called the Flynn effect.
The what?
The Flynn effect.
What in the world is that?
It's the name of this phenomenon.
It's an effect, Rob.
Yeah, it's an effect.
It's the Flynn effect. You know the thing.
The thing. However, there's a new study out from Northwestern University saying that we are currently in a reverse Flynn effect.
Oh.
We're dumbing down.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
okay,
for the past 10 years, the scores have been going down
for
IQs.
Isn't this interesting that we're doing this story now? Because remember, when we had Micah's guest, that Dave Seibel from the Quorum Day Christian School
on
the other day, and he was talking about the teaching that goes on in the public school. And he was talking about how a school like theirs teaches you to actually think. It teaches you from the same books that the great founding fathers like Ben Franklin read from and the way they thought. And how he was saying that public schools basically has, over the past 100 years, taught you how to be the thing that industry, that commerce wants you to be. We're training you to be that thing versus you being a thinker for yourself and then figuring out what thing you want to become based on that. And this is kind of a great example of that.
Yeah, and to your point, they say ability scores pertaining to verbal reasoning, also matrix reasoning, computation, mathematical skills, all of these things are dropping, and they attribute it to a few things. And the big one is poor nutrition.
What?
Poor nutrition, also media exposure, and changes in education. But they're saying one of the big things that is happening to people is that we are eating such horrible processed food.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
That it is literally shrinking our brains.
No kidding. Well, then how am I so brilliant? Because I eat terribly.
You cut out that sugar, you cut out that trans fat from your diet, and you're going to just be off the chart smarter.
Huh.
Something to consider.
What they're saying is, if I had just eaten better, because again, think about the colossal IQ, mental capacity that is in this seat every day.
That you have now.
If I had just eaten better, I would be an Einstein-level thinker and contributor to society.
And they also say that when it comes to this nutrition, if you stop with the processed foods and all of the sugar and the cornstarch that is in everything, if you stop that and start eating your fruits and your veggies and your whole grains, you actually can reverse it. So you could start getting smarter.
Seems like a lot of work.
Another reason why they say that people's IQ is dropping is to drop off in motivation to actually become smarter.
You know who has an incredible IQ?
Kurt Darling?
Yeah, in the news. It's coming up next.
It's 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We continue to save our new customers 30 to 40% when compared to their present individual or small group coverages. Many of our plans feature zero deductible and zero copays, coverage guaranteed to age 65, and the largest network in the nation with 2 A-rated companies. We've been in the same location, the same phone number for 27 years. We'll be here when you need us. My early mentor in the insurance business was fond of saying, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always have what you always had. If you're unhappy with your present coverage and price, stop doing what you've always done. Call us at 317-435-1718 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-435-1718 or rragency.org. Thought for the day, if our country's such an awful place, why do millions come here to be free? God bless America, or at least what she used to be.
Hey, Tamer and Nigel for Window Nation. Have you noticed your energy costs have been rising dramatically? Nationwide, energy prices have increased over 14% since last year. It isn't too late to do something to fix your high energy bills. Beat the spring rush with the last month of off-season pricing at Window Nation. Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy with 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. New windows will pay for themselves with the energy savings on your energy bills, and you will pay nothing for 2 full years with 0% financing, saving you hundreds of dollars.
Go with the window company that has installed nearly 2 million windows, including mine. 866-90-NATION. Get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy. No limit. Plus, no down payment, no payments, no interest for 24 months. This offer won't last long. Call Window Nation right now. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Theme weeks, family nights, live a dream trips, and more. Whether you're looking for a short-term rehabilitation stay or want to downsize with our independent living apartments, you'll find there's always something to celebrate at a Trilogy Senior Living community. Trilogy is proud to take care of seniors' day-to-day hassles so they can enjoy life with friends, family, and a staff committed to exceeding their expectations every day. Visit us today at www.trilogyhs.com/live to find out why Trilogy is where family comes to live.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Another day, still no movement. It's 64 with rain moving in on radar. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Reports say a New York City grand jury won't be discussing the case involving former President Trump today. Instead, they're reportedly going to talk about other matters. Grand jurors have been meeting about the case that involves Trump and possible money paid to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. The CEO of TikTok is facing lawmakers in a committee hearing this hour. Before the hearing, Josie Chu said his company is not an agent of the Chinese government.
Commit to keep TikTok free. A free place for freedom of expression without any manipulation by any government.
Some lawmakers, though, want the app banned over its possible close ties to the Chinese Communist Party. And today is National Puppy Day, which is being celebrated. The day honoring little canines was founded in 2006 and is usually observed with adoption events by local humane societies that have puppies ready to adopt. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Ensure your comfort year-round. Join Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling Service Club from Johnson County's premier dealer. Call themarshallnow.com, your American Standard Air dealer.
At Indiana Foundation Service, we're proud to share some of what our customers have said about us.
My basement had massive amounts of water when it rained. I made an appointment. They were professional and honest. I'd highly recommend them if you need help waterproofing your home. You'll be in good hands.
Noticing moisture in your basement? Indiana Foundation Service can help. Visit indianafoundation.com to book your free inspection.
Indiana Foundation Service, reliability from the ground up.
Emma and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
I'm so sorry you have just reached my answering machine.
10:33 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and it is time to hear from you with your voicemails, brought to you by QC Kinetics for non-surgical regenerative medicine treatments at 317-555-559-PAIN.
Said this several months ago that I am totally invested in this Trump-DeSantis feud because it would be absolute ratings gold and people will be captivated by it and will not be able to get enough of it. And I didn't think it would start this fast, but it has, and I was proven correct because people are just eating this up. And we got a lot of phone calls about various things related to Trump and DeSantis. One of the things that we talked about was the as it relates to Trump, his obsession with Ron DeSantis and this photo supposedly of him
in college.
Yeah, either he had just gotten out of college or was in college. I think he was supposedly a teacher at the time. And there's this photo of him at a party, and there's 3 girls with him. And they've all got beers in their hands. So 1, nobody even knows if it is DeSantis. 2, nobody knows how old these girls even were. And 3, oh, you mean good-looking 22-year-old guy goes to party with 19-year-old girls and people had beer? Oh, my gosh. That never happened in the history of ever to anyone. Give me a break. But Trump is just totally hung up on this photo, and it is like going to be this end-all, be-all for him.
You know, Trump is the guy who always says that he tells his children, no alcohol,
Right.
no smoking, no. As a parent, he was pretty strict with his own kids.
Well, I mean,
so maybe that is offensive to him.
Well, maybe it is, but it's not something that's going to make or break a guy's presidential campaign. Now, if Ron DeSantis were a 40-year-old governor boozing it up with a bunch of girls who were not 21, okay, sure, maybe we got an issue here. But whatever he was supposed to be at the time, 22, 23 years old, and he's at a party. I don't know, Casey. Went to a few parties in my day. Don't know the age of everyone that was there. People were definitely drinking beer. The average person's not going to look at that and go, what an offensive person.
So inappropriate.
It's just such a weird thing to die on the hill or make like the crux of, but he's truthing this photo over and over again. He's commenting on it. He said something about a man. I don't know. Anyway, somebody called about that.
Hey, Rob, it's Kyle. Hey, the Trump on DeSantis's photo with the underage girls is just like the Obama birth certificate. He played it until he played it and played it and played it and knew that it was there, but it was something to be a talking point and has got his name out there and the attention on him. This is no different. He's going to go through and just shake it till he dies. He's obviously acting from his inner child of fear that he knows that there's a possibility that DeSantis is better than him. Love the show. Thanks.
It's a good point. He's just going to keep going with it because he can.
But it's so
well, and DeSantis
so
hasn't
weird.
addressed it though. DeSantis hasn't said anything about it.
It is so weird that is the thing. Again, maybe it is really Ron DeSantis. Maybe those girls really were not 21, unless they were like 15. If they're college age girls, who again?
Who cares?
Not who cares, because technically, by the letter of the law, you shouldn't be doing it. But who amongst us wasn't in college, roaming around various parties, and nobody was asking to check IDs at any of those parties? The average man or woman, now there may be some people that's a big deal too, but the average voter that will decide the election is not going to go, well, I was on the fence, but this photo did it.
Are they holding beers or are they holding solo cups?
No, I think they're they look like they've got bottles of beer.
Okay. Because I was say, if it's a solo cup, you don't even know what's in there. It could be water.
Well, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Somebody called about the potential Trump mugshot photo. And this person was right. I think that's what the left really wants. They think this mugshot is going to be the thing that will totally derail Trump.
Hello, fan of the show calling. A comment about Donald Trump and whether he wants to be indicted, the video and photo ops. And I saw CBS News over the weekend or a couple of days ago, and they were interviewing some lawyer, their legal correspondent, and what all Democrats want out of all of this is President Trump's mugshot, the front view and the side view, and then the numbers down below his prisoner number, or, well, not a prisoner, but you know what I mean? And that's forever. They can flash that from now until 2024, his mugshot. I mean, yeah, you got legal documents. He's been indicted, and and trial documents if it goes to trial, but the mugshot. And I thought about that for a while, and that guy was absolutely right, this legal correspondent for CBS.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that is the one that will stick around forever. It'll be like the Saigon execution, the Tiananmen Square, the soldiers on Iwo Jima, the Nixon flashing the peace sign. It's one of those photos that will it will remain forever.
Another thing people are very interested in is if indeed Trump is indicted and if indeed he does refuse to go willingly to New York, what role Ron DeSantis would play in this. Would he sign off on getting Trump extradited to New York? Somebody called about that.
I think that if DeSantis was to extradite Donald Trump, I think that he would, that would make him have a hard time winning the election, really, I think. Because there's a lot of people still like him, Donald Trump. But there again, Donald Trump's got a lot of baggage. The government, whoever is giving him a lot of baggage, and they just keep piling it on. So, I don't know how people feel about him now. But, yeah, I'd say that if DeSantis was to if he had to extradite him to New York or whatever, then that would hurt his election.
Yeah, because he'll be blamed.
Yeah.
For the guy who turned over Trump. DeSantis did speak out about Trump for the first time. He kind of took a dig at him, saying that Trump should have given up power like George Washington did. He should have been more like a founding father.
Here's what I still don't understand, though. Trump should have. If Trump believes the election was not on the up and up, now with Trump, no matter what it would have been, maybe he wouldn't have. But very clearly, there were obvious things. A normal person with the mass mail and unaccountable voting, the vote count magically changing in multiple states after the lights went out, that you would say, okay, there's some serious concerns here. I object to these concerns. And simply having a rally, again, unless somebody can point me to a photo, a video, or anything of Trump with a bayonet at the front of the Capitol yelling charge, he's allowed to do that. There's nothing illegal about him
about questioning an
doing
election.
that. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. I don't object to that at all. The same way multiple Democrats objected to the 2016 election in the Congress.
Yes,
we're trying the very same thing that Trump was trying to do. Nobody said a word because you're allowed to do that.
Well, you were.
It's a good point.
You're supposed to be.
We've got time for one more call. So, Kev, this may be slightly out of order, but remember yesterday we were talking about with Gwyneth Paltrow, the ski. She's involved in some sort of lawsuit at a ski resort.
Yeah, I believe, skied into somebody who got injured from it, and that person is suing her.
Yes, they saw, oh my gosh, I got hit by Gwyneth Paltrow. Hello, life's lottery. I'd get hit by like Barney Gumble or somebody like that. Anyway, I would pose the question. I said there has to be
a waiver or something that you have to sign.
Yeah, some
safety.
Sort of something, yes, that says you cannot sue us or whatever.
Ski at your own risk.
As I have never been skiing. Kev, I think, has been skiing.
Somebody mentioned that it's on the back of your ski pass.
Well, that was the question because Kev said he didn't remember signing anything.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like Ticketmaster. You have the ticket and you enter into the agreement when you get the ticket.
User takes their own risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have to sign anything.
I don't remember signing anything, but yeah, this was 10 years ago, so I don't remember exactly.
Well, you're not even paying attention now. I can't imagine what you were like 10 years ago. So somebody who does maybe have a little experience on this called in.
So I was just listening on the podcast on iHeartRadio about whether or not you sign any kind of waiver when you go skiing. I've been skiing several times, and on the lift ticket you have to purchase, it says you ski at your own risk. It's a ticket that they attach to whatever you're wearing. So to get on the lift, you have to have one of those, and you absolve it. Now, when you go skydiving, which I've also done, they make you sign a 20-page document. On every page it says, you may die doing this, so we are absolved, and you got to sign every page absolving the skydiving company of anything.
Wow.
I was right.
That's a man of action. Jump, dude. The ground will break your fall.
Is there any amount of money someone could pay you to get you to jump out of an airplane?
None. It's a perfectly good airplane.
Kev, you're a maniac. You'd probably do it.
Yeah, I'd probably do it just for that thrill.
You've done a lot of crazy stuff that is on par with jumping out of an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've gone parasailing, and that scared me until I got up there.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was a little bit more relaxing. But jumping out of a plane,
yeah, I'm immensely afraid of heights. I won't even get in an airplane.
You won't even get in a plane, let alone jump out of it.
If we went skydiving, you would probably hesitate and probably try not to go jump out the plane, but I would just push you.
Good luck, Rob.
What a producer.
All right. Hammer joins us next.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Vote now on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel, the finals of Biden madness. Someone will cut down the nets this afternoon. And oh yeah, we've also got the biggest stories of the day. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Indianapolis, do you have old, ugly, or even damaged concrete? Not sure what to do about it, but you know you need to do something? Well, you need to call Galaxy Concrete Coatings. This product is out of this world, and it's right here in Indianapolis. And just in time to give your concrete floors a transflormation. Galaxy Concrete Coatings is 4 times stronger than epoxy. It's designed to not only work on your garage floor, but you can use it on driveways, walkways, around your pool or patio, commercial or residential. And it's UV resistant, which means it will not yellow. And even better, it can be ready to go in about 24 hours. Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or call 317-751-9070. Indy, you're ready for a transflormation. Call Galaxy Concrete Coatings today, 317-751-9070. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They are out of this world.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com to get started. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
At Mucinex, we don't believe in cold and flu season. We only believe in comeback season, which starts with 12-hour relief. Just one dose of Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for cough and chest congestion day or night. That's 3 times longer than those 4-hour cough liquids. So say goodbye to cold and flu season and hello to comeback season with Mucinex DM. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cold and cough medicine. Get relief that lasts with Mucinex DM. Use as directed.
For a limited time at Tire Discounters, a free alignment is now included with every tire purchased, even one.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. May I help you?
I doubt it.
Say, aren't you Ralph, the manager over at Tire Box?
Nope.
Okay.
Anywho, I only need one tire, so I guess I don't get none of your gimmicks, right?
Gimmicks? Even if you need just one tire, you still get lifetime rotation,
gimmick,
lifetime balancing,
gimmick,
and
left one out, didn't you?
And now a free alignment is included with every tire purchased, even one.
See store for details.
10:49, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. There was a lot of tweeting going on last night between Hammer and Nigel, Rob M. Kendall, and Casey Daniels 317. I felt like that could have just been a text between us.
Bowel harvesting.
But we put it out there for everyone to enjoy.
The bowel harvesting is in full effect, and Velvet pulling ahead.
I love it's called bowel harvesting. Get ready, Bal. You're getting in for a problem.
So it is the finals of Biden Madness. It is the Kendall and Casey audience favorite, the sentimental favorite. Happy birthday, Velvet, against You Ain't Black.
Right. So if you're unfamiliar with what we do in the afternoon show, since the beginning of March 1st, we actually started this. It's the second time we've played Biden Madness, where we've taken 16 ridiculous clips of Joe Biden, his words, and in no way have we doctored the audio or anything like that, and we put it in a bracket format. And every afternoon, based on a Twitter poll, listeners vote for the most ridiculous one to advance in the tournament.
Now, you do it just like the NCAA tournament. These were seeded 1 through 16.
Yes.
And you have now worked it to the finals, which this audience has kind of adopted onto Happy Birthday, Velvet, and it is taking on perennial favorite, it was the runner-up last time, right?
Right. So let's get into the actual clips here. Coming out of the Anyway region, the number 7 seed. The number 7 seed that pulled an upset. It had to defeat Anyway to advance, and then it also beat the number 3 seed, Where's Jackie? This was the runner-up from the inaugural Biden Madness. Good old-fashioned folksy racism from Joe Biden.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
And he got away with that. That floors me. I know we say this all the time, but I can't believe he skated on that. There was no pushback. Other than Lawrence Jones and Charles Payne on Fox, Senator Tim Scott, that was it.
Isn't it amazing, too? By the way, there is another Jefferson Shreve ad. How much money does this guy have? That is amazing to me. He is on every 7 seconds. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail there. But it's amazing to me also how much this guy says stupid stuff that you could make a whole bracket and any one of them could have won.
Right. That was the 7 seed, right? And much like the real March Madness tournament, upsets happen along the way. And every once in a while, there's a scrappy Cinderella.
Yeah.
There's a Butler. There's a 1985 Villanova.
Gonzaga comes in there.
Finds themselves playing in that championship game that nobody would have predicted. And this brings us to the number 8 seed, coming from the the thing region. This was on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the national holiday, in front of MLK's grandson. It was MLK III's wife, Andrea's birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden.
Well, look, my wife has a rule in our family. When somebody's birthday, you sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you,
Andrea.
Happy birthday to you,
Andrea.
Happy birthday, dear Velvet. Happy birthday to you.
Every time. It makes me laugh.
It is not on that piece of audio, but there is another video of it out there where when he gets done, he just goes, Well.
Our listeners are so fantastic. Not only have they latched on to Happy Birthday Velvet, they've given it a nickname, just shortening it to HBV. HBV for the win.
I think I caught that on spring break in Panama City.
I'm sure that's one of many things you caught on spring break. But it does. Happy Birthday Velvet has all the things. Because it's the classic Biden where he's so enthusiastic and he's for 7 seconds fired up and then he just loses steam and then he just quits and then he just starts mumbling things incoherently and he's getting stuff wrong. Like yesterday, you guys played this. We played this on our show too, where he's trying to read that poem and he can't decide whether it's country or county.
He screws it up like twice.
Yes. And then he claims he's just intimidated to be in front of people.
Okay.
Happy birthday,
He's the president
of
the United States.
Happy birthday, Velvet is everything, because what is more rude or dismissive to a person than singing happy birthday to them and not even getting close on their name?
But at the same time, you know that like Ice Cube and Kanye West did not vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Joe Biden saying those are white guys. Imagine looking at Ice Cube, Doughboy from Boys in the Hood, and saying, you ain't black.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't like to be in front of people. He did campaign from his basement.
That's true. Now, I will say this. If you're breaking down the bracket here, a little bracketology, if you ain't black does not win, I think you have to put that in the category of the Fab Five from Michigan. A lot of hype. They made a lot of run, a lot of noise in the tournament, but they were never able to win the big one.
Kind of like the Buffalo Bills of Biden Madness, back-to-back runners-up.
Yes. Yep. Perennial bridesmaid, never the bride.
Speaking of March Madness, Biden Madness, you got any action tonight? Big games?
Yeah, Tennessee Vols, a little Sweet 16 action. I'm riding the under in that one. FAU can shoot the three, but Tennessee, they like to play that 1994 New York Knicks bully ball, so I'm riding the under on that one.
It's coming up this afternoon.
So Fox 59 ran a story about constitutional carry, a hit piece on it.
Oh.
Guy Relford wasn't happy, so he's going to come in and go off the rails. And then at 5:30, you, Rob Kendall, are going to come on and go off the rails.
Victory speech for Velvet.
Thank you, Hammer. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Go vote. Happy birthday, Velvet.
At Shane Company, we know that when it comes to jewelry, everyone has their own sense of style. With the largest selection of unique fine jewelry, it will be easy to find something perfect for you. I'm a Shane Company jewelry consultant, and I love helping people find something that speaks to them. Every piece here is special, made with love and care. At Shane Company, we're known for our stunning sapphires. We have every color of the rainbow. Choose a style with your favorite sapphire color. Or choose one of our other beautiful gemstones like deep blue tanzanite or red ruby. If you gravitate to bold classics, our diamond hoop earrings and yellow gold chains really stand out. Maybe you prefer a more subtle look, like a simple gold band for stacking or a dainty necklace with a sparkling diamond. At Shane Company, we have jewelry for every personality. If you need some ideas, talk to one of us. We don't work on commission, so you'll never feel rushed. Visit us and have fun wearing jewelry that's an expression of you.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
To my newborn baby boy, the day you arrived was one of the happiest days of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV from that guy on the internet and insured it with Progressive. What a deal. Just know, son, I'll always be here for you. And by here, I mean in the middle of absolutely nowhere. In my RV.
Protect your baby with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When someone you love is the victim of a wrongful death, it's a terrible tragedy. What's also a tragedy? When the insurance company doesn't want to pay what you deserve for your loss and suffering. I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs, the Hammer, founder of Isaacs & Isaacs Personal Injury Lawyers. We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients, including a recent $10 million wrongful death jury award. There are strict time limits to file a wrongful death claim, so please go to WeWin.com for your free case evaluation.
At Mucinex, we don't believe in cold and flu season. We only believe in comeback season, which starts with 12-hour relief. Just one dose of Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for cough and chest congestion day or night. That's 3 times longer than those 4-hour cough liquids. So say goodbye to cold and flu season and hello to comeback season with Mucinex DM. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cold and cough medicine. Get relief that lasts with Mucinex DM. Use as directed.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Delaware County Fairgrounds in Muncie. The best dealers in the region will be at the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show. Just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Delaware County Fairgrounds in Muncie. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the first step to peace of mind is controlling your power with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer, Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808.
Get 3 rooms of carpet Zero-Res clean for only $149. That's real spring cleaning with Zero-Res. 388-5141 or online at ZeroResIndy.com.
How much rain you can expect today, plus John Herrick reports on an elected official arrested in southern Indiana, and your senator using Hoosier experiences to push for better border security. That and more coming up from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
TikTok CEO on the hot seat in the House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Our app is a place where people can be creative and curious. And where close to 5 million American businesses, mostly small businesses, go to find new customers and to fuel their growth.
And CEO Shou Zichu just told a hearing TikTok is U.S.-based, and while its parent company is in China.
ByteDance is not owned or controlled by the Chinese government. It's a private company.
And he says they have a firewall
that seals off protected U.S. user data from unauthorized foreign access.
That did not convince Democratic Congressman Frank Pallone.
I still believe that the Beijing Communist government will still control and have the ability to influence what you do.
Lawmakers are also worried China can manipulate TikTok content and that TikTok can spy on users. Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers, a Republican, told Shou it did not. It did that to journalists.
Can you say with 100% certainty that neither ByteDance nor TikTok employees can target other Americans with similar surveillance techniques?
Chair Rogers, I first of all disagree with the characterization that is spying.
Some in Congress want TikTok now banned in the U.S. And another House hearing into the defense budget. Top U.S. General, Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Mark Milley just said,
the People's Republic of China and Russia have the means to threaten our interests and our way of life.
The U.S. worries China could give Russia weapons for the Ukraine war, though that apparently didn't happen when China's leader went to Moscow this week. A New York City grand jury that's been investigating former President Trump will not meet to focus on the case today, as previously had been expected.
Sources familiar telling me that there is a, quote, major dissension within District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office about this case.
Fox's Brooke Singman.
Trump posting on Truth Social yesterday saying, quote, there is no crime here. The crime would be if I get charged.
The probe is into if Trump falsified records, repaying his lawyer for the hush money paid to a porn star to keep an alleged affair quiet. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The concerns and the risks. Showers on radar, some storms moving through southern central Indiana, 64. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The rain is coming en masse today.
There's an increasing chance of flooding, especially south of Indianapolis, with additional rainfall Friday and Saturday with storm totals between 3 to 4, maybe up to 5 inches down south.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service. He says nothing will be too severe, though. Maybe some pea-sized hail at best. A shooting Wednesday afternoon on the east side leaves a man dead. It was near Rural and 25th, where police say they found the man shot and lying in the front yard of a home. He died later at the hospital. They say the man who shot him surrendered to police later on that evening. The Knox County coroner was arrested Wednesday night. John Herrick tells you why.
State police say they arrested Karen Donovan after they searched her house in Vincennes on a warrant. They say they found meth and fentanyl inside the home. They had been investigating Donovan since April of last year. Donovan's charged with possession of a controlled dangerous substance, possession of meth, and misconduct. All of those are level 6 felonies. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Fentanyl is coming to Indiana after it crosses from Mexico into the U.S. That's the accusation from Senator Todd Young, who is demanding better border policies from President Biden.
His administration argues that because large quantities of fentanyl have been seized at our official ports of entry, that the overdose epidemic is somehow unrelated to the broken border.
Young was in Warsaw earlier this week, where he says he heard stories from Hoosiers about fentanyl overdoses, which he says are increasing there. The Indiana Pacers beat the Toronto Raptors in Toronto, 118-114 Wednesday night.
A lot of guys filled in and did good things. This is a hard place to win. It's been a long time since this franchise has won a game in this building. Over 10 years, I guess, is what I was told.
Head coach Rick Carlisle, they play Boston tomorrow night at 7. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
This hour is powered by Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer in Johnson County.
You're
listening to Rob Kendall.
The idea that because some guy down the street from you sold his home, you should have to pay more taxes is wholly ridiculous. The whole thing is a giant scam.
And Casey Daniels.
Sounds like the Indiana Republican Party needs to work on their P&L statements. Taking this much, you spend this much.
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, March 23rd, 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. His name is Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels, and we're glad you're joining us this morning. If you'd like to follow along on YouTube, you can do that. Just type in Kendall and Casey into the YouTube search bar, and there we are. So this week, the CEO of Moderna testified before a hearing held before the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, and was questioned by several of the committee's members, including Senator Rand Paul, and he got worked up.
Rand Paul is awesome.
A portion of his questions were focused on myocarditis, which is an inflammation of the heart muscle after many individuals receive from the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, so a couple of clips here. And again, Rand Paul is overwhelmingly, not even close, the best member of the United States Senate. Just like, so weird, Kentucky has the two best. They've got Thomas Massey in the House.
But they also have Mitch McConnell.
It's just so weird, isn't it? How could the same people who elect Thomas Massey and Rand Paul also elect Mitch McConnell? And they have a Democrat mayor. Or governor, I'm sorry. So it's very weird. But anyway, this CEO from Moderna is up there. And I love how this guy, one, sounds like a Bond villain. Listen to this guy speak and tell me if he doesn't sound like a Bond villain. And two, Rand Paul points out that the CEO of Moderna that they gave $400 million to the National Institute of Health, which is a total conflict of interest. Take a listen.
Moderna recently paid NIH $400 million. Do you believe it creates a conflict of interest for the government employees who are making money now off of the vaccine to also be dictating the policy about how many times we have to take the vaccine?
Good morning, Senator. Indeed, we recently made, before Christmas last year, a $400 million payment to the NIH for an old patent that they had developed, not related to COVID, but useful in the development of a COVID vaccine to pay them for their work. It's for the U.S. government to assess how that money should be used.
Do you think it creates a conflict of interest for the same people deciding the policy of how often we have to take the vaccine to also be making money the more times we take the vaccine? Yes or no?
This is for the government to decide, Senator.
You have no opinion on whether or not it creates a conflict of interest?
This is the same thing that happens in politics all the time, where you see these massive donations from corporations or individuals who own or run corporations, and then the politicians vote on, in this, elected politicians, the thing that affects a person who's given you huge amounts of money. And
it's a big circle.
In this case, yeah, think about, this was so, the National Institute was so influential that they were threatening and trying to make people lose their jobs if they didn't get this thing.
If you didn't get this. Right. And then we're going to give that company money. So make this mandatory. It was a double dip.
Of course it was.
That's what it was.
Just like these corporations, and you see this, and individuals who give huge money. You see it here in the state of Indiana. You see it all over the place. These people do not give out of the goodness of their heart. Eli Lilly does not stroke a 5-figure check over and over and over again to Eric Holcomb because they really like palling around with him. You know how many checks Eli Lilly wrote Holcomb when he was running? 0. Nothing. But as soon as he gets elected, here come the 5-figure checks. Did they suddenly just, oh my gosh, we were so wrong, he's such a great guy? No. Nobody does that. People stroke huge checks to government officials. These government people are some of the most boring, uninspiring, unfun, last people you'd ever want to be around. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They do it because they want something.
Okay, so Rand Paul was asking him if there's a higher incidence of myocarditis among boys 16 to 24 after they take the Moderna vaccine. And he answered that the rate of myocarditis for that specific age and gender group is less than those who get COVID-19.
All right, take a listen to this back and forth.
Is there a higher interest or a higher incidence of myocarditis among adolescent males 16 to 24 after taking your vaccine?
So thank you for the question, Senator. First, let me say we care deeply about safety, and we're working closely with the CDC and the FDA to
Pretty much a yes or no. Is there a higher incidence of myocarditis among boys 16 to 24 after they take your vaccine?
The data I've seen from the CDC actually shown that there's less myocarditis for people who get the vaccine versus who get COVID infection.
You're saying that for ages 16 to 24 among males who take the COVID vaccine, their risk of myocarditis is less than people who get the disease.
That is my understanding.
That is not true, and I'd like to enter into the record 6 peer-reviewed papers from the Journal of Vaccine, the Annals of Medicine, that say the complete opposite of what you say. I also spoke with your president just last week, and he readily acknowledged in private that, yes, there is an increased risk of myocarditis. The fact that you can't say it in public is quite disturbing.
Okay, sidebar. Moderna is expected to hike up the price of the shot from $26 to $130.
Well, good. Maybe a lot of people will stop getting it then.
According to the CDC, cases of myocarditis, well, the CDC, because I know you believe everything they say, but they say that cases of myocarditis are most common after the second dose of the vaccine. And another sidebar here, Rand Paul, he says experts who still refuse to believe that the coronavirus lab leak origin theory are self-interested.
All right, let's take a little bit of an early break. We'll do a little bit of an extended segment when we come back. We got trending stories. We got one final push to get Velvet across the finish line. And then it turns out Indiana is a terrible place to go if you want to have fun of any kind.
It's not fun at all.
And you've got another side piece in there as well about the best burger in the state.
All right, a lot to get to. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Casey.
Yeah.
Question.
What?
This is a really important question.
Okay.
Don't answer the question until you've thoroughly thought it through.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
How would you feel if you lost out on $111,000 in retirement income?
I don't have to think long. I would not feel good. Bummer is the word.
Get this. 96% of Americans lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Kendall and Casey.
You can learn how to avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy right here in Indy. And we trust Bill Demery so much, we are now clients of Bill Demery's. And if you've saved at least $200,000 and not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. Bill Demery, he does all the heavy lifting and he won't charge you a dime.
It's 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
In the Matt Bear Tournament of Traffic, it's win and go home.
It's taken a lot of work to get here. You just want to advance through the field.
All right, traffic is really backing up on the south.
And to do that, you've got to drive the lanes.
2 vehicle crash blocking the left and center lanes.
You guys know this. You've got to find the openings and take your shots.
Updating your traffic bracket. Mornings and afternoons.
Prepare.
Construction backups brutal. Watch for the zones.
March Matt Bear Traffic Madness is on 93 WIBC.
At Mucinex, we don't believe in cold and flu season. We only believe in comeback season, which starts with 12-hour relief. Just 1 dose of Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for cough and chest congestion day or night. That's 3 times longer than those 4-hour cough liquids. So say goodbye to cold and flu season and hello to comeback season with Mucinex DM. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cold and cough medicine. Get relief that lasts with Mucinex DM. Use as directed.
Chapters of this story take a whole month to tell. This is May. It starts with twists and turns on the IMS road course for the GMR Grand Prix. Then PPG presents Armed Forces Indy 500 qualifying and the Firestone Fast 6 shootout. May continues with Indy's biggest party, Miller Lite Card Day. And all roads lead to the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gamebridge. This is where heroes become legends and legends become legendary. This is May. Buy now and save. Get tickets at IMS.com.
Looking to add that extra living space in your backyard? Have one of Indy Decorative Concrete's estimators out for a free no-pressure estimate. Get on the books now and enjoy your patio all summer long. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for Timberlake Kitchen and Bath Cabinets. Visit Drexel's new design center on 146th Street at River Road or on North Shadeland. DrexelIN.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
He's just a little crazy.
He's a little crazy. And Casey Daniels.
Oh, man, she's fascinating.
On 93 WIBC.
Celia, you're breaking my heart. 15 minutes after 11, you're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. What are people talking about this morning? Well, let's take a look at, or a listen rather, to some trending audio. Comedian Shane Gillis was on with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan posed the question if Biden will win the election. Gillis says there's nothing there. By the way, during this interview, Shane Gillis, the comedian, was wearing a Notre Dame t-shirt.
Do you think Trump's going to win?
If they run Biden, either DeSantis or Trump will win.
Yeah.
They can't run Biden. Even though he was the most popular president of all time. How about that? Most votes ever?
Well, he is the best.
What?
He's the best. So if you...
There's nothing there.
Little sarcasm there. So he's saying whoever runs against Biden pretty much is going to win. Whether it be Trump or DeSantis or...
I just think that Trump is going to have such a hard time because of the amount of maniacs that will come out and vote if Trump is the nominee that will not vote if Trump is not the nominee. And I also think there's a whole lot of, whatever you want to call them, middle of the road, suburban, whatever, women who are just not going to vote for Donald Trump. And you can't get them to vote for him because it's not a policy position issue. It's
a personality.
They don't like him.
It's a likability.
Ron DeSantis can win people on his policies because he's a highly likable person. He comes off as a professional person. He comes off as a person who, whether you agree with him or not, he's there to do business. That's what people want from their president. Trump does not come off as that. Trump comes off as a guy who's still on a reality TV show, which, while highly entertaining, is just offensive to a lot of people. And I know people get mad all the time when I say that and blah, 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 and I'm going to turn the radio off and never listen again and da-da-da, but you're always back. So clearly you are going to listen again. But you need to hear the truth. And the truth is Donald Trump cannot get a portion of the electorate and it has nothing to do with his policies. It just has to do with who he is as a person. Why would you chase people away who otherwise would vote for you and would like your policies?
There's also something to be said about the family aspect of this, because Trump's family somewhat dysfunctional with multiple baby mamas, and compared to DeSantis.
Sure. But all Trump's kids are perfectly behaved and upstanding citizens. Isn't that amazing? That really does tell you something about Trump, though. All of his kids are good kids. You'd think out of 5 kids, one of them would be a screw up or a underachiever or a something. They're all good kids.
Right. But comparatively, do you think that people want to see that, or do they want to see the little kids of Ron DeSantis?
I heard somebody say this the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but it's right. People voted for Biden, many people who voted for Biden. Now, there were a lot of things that went into voting for Biden. The ballot harvesting, the mass mail and unaccountable voting, the creative jelly bean counting after midnight. A lot of those things went in. But there were many people, and we'd be naive and dishonest not to think that many people voted for Biden because they believed wrongly, and I think they now realize it, that Biden would create some sort of stability or normalcy in the country again. They did not think Biden, and again, people don't do their homework, they don't read, they don't listen, they just think what they want to think. Biden would create some sort of moderate middle chart, and we would get, okay, Trump-esque country without the Trump behavior. Well, that's clearly wrong. But with DeSantis, it doesn't have to be either or. You can have what people have perceived throughout history as a norm for the presidency in terms of behavior, yet you can have the policies that you like.
Also trending this morning, Cheez-Its, the 100% real original cheese cracker, is getting a little backlash because they have put RuPaul on their packaging. And the reason that this is making news is because a lot of people are upset that they took the black woman off of the Aunt Jemima pancake packaging. But now they have put a black man dressed as a woman wearing a blonde wig on the Cheez-It cracker.
Sure, what's the problem here?
We're sending mixed messages. What are we doing?
And why are they
removing one historical face, but then
And isn't it interesting that they're picking RuPaul? There used to be a time, and Casey, you're a little more seasoned than me, so you'll remember this better than I will.
Probably.
If you were on the box of something, whether it's Wheaties,
Right.
Cheez-It, whatever, you were a universally respected figure. You know, you wouldn't if it was
You accomplished something.
and you were universally revered in society, and people knew who you were. You know, that's why it was Olympic heroes were on the Wheaties box, or it was Walter Payton or Michael Jordan. If it was, actors or actresses, it was people with no skeletons. It was squeaky clean people. Now it's like drag queens. That's our spokesperson now. Cool.
That's
Great.
who Cheez-Its picked.
Wonderful.
Also trending this morning, it is National Puppy Day. And then finally, Blockbuster. This is really interesting. They've been active on social media recently.
Have you ever followed the Blockbuster Twitter account? It's
Well,
quite
I know
entertaining.
they've posted some funny stuff. And they said just today, new business idea. We're going to come back as a bank and use VHS and DVDs as currency. Time to go visit your mom.
Isn't there still one Blockbuster left? It's in like Washington.
Yeah.
Is that
or
where it
somewhere.
is?
Yeah, it's
Washington or Oregon.
Yeah, I think it's Oregon.
What do you rent there?
It's a Blockbuster.
I think they
But
use it.
VHS or DVDs or what?
Yeah, it's like a Blockbuster there were DVDs when Blockbuster
Sure.
was still around.
It's also an Airbnb too. I think people can actually rent it out. For a few
You would
nights.
spend the night in the Blockbuster?
Yeah.
There was I think Netflix did a documentary on this because I saw
Yeah,
it, and
that's
that
where I
must have
saw
been
it.
where it was. That Netflix did a documentary on this last remaining Blockbuster, and people will do slumber parties inside the Blockbuster.
Okay, so they've got one brick and mortar location
Yeah.
left, but somebody clearly still running their social media with a sense of humor. What did they gain from that? Like, what kind of just attention?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool if there was a Burger Chef Twitter account. I mean,
Yeah, because Blockbuster is still nostalgic for a lot of people. So
I mean,
a lot of people are gonna pay attention.
okay, so the question would be, what does the average person with the goof accounts gain? One of my favorite accounts is women posting their L's online. It's an anonymous-esque person. What does that person get out of that?
But I guess my question is, the person behind the social media, they're just doing it for themselves. They're just working for free. They're not making money.
Well, maybe they're selling Blockbuster merch. I mean, I bought a Blockbuster T-shirt over the winter. It was in one of those Five Belows or someplace like that. So they're still selling merch.
Okay.
Is this you said it was a Twitter account?
Yeah.
You know what this person is doing? They're gaining a following under the Blockbuster name.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they're going to all of a sudden change their whole shtick to something that benefits themselves.
Right?
And they're going to have
put it
all
on their
those-
resume. Hey, I ran the Blockbuster Twitter account
Yeah,
for years.
or they're just going to be, like if they're a musician, for example, they're just going to turn it into their band page.
But this happens all the time. I think it's a merch. I think it's promoting the merch, right?
Okay.
Because Super 70 Sports,
Yeah,
that's a highly
that's
popular
a
account.
great one.
He's got a huge merch line of stuff that he sells. So Blockbuster, based on the fact that I bought a Blockbuster shirt in a legitimate store, it wasn't from a street vendor.
How retro of you. I think you should wear that one day.
I've worn it multiple times. You're just not paying attention.
You have
That
a
and-
Blockbuster shirt?
Yeah.
See, he hasn't seen it either.
Well, it's 7 degrees in the studio, so I always have to wear a pullover. We were laughing because Mr. Smolian used to own this radio station, and he still owns the building,
Right.
MS.
Yeah.
And it was 7 degrees when he owned the company.
Yeah.
And now that he has sold the company, it is 0 degrees. I also
It
noticed.
keeps getting colder in here. He's trying to freeze us out.
Yes, and there are many other things that he is like, you people may work here, but you're not my responsibility anymore. Yawn. Bundle up.
It's 23 minutes after 11. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Guys, we're having so much fun this morning.
Don't
Right here in Indiana.
Don't we usually have fun?
We're having fun. But according to a new study, Indiana's not fun at all.
Wait, Casey.
Yeah.
Before you get to that,
Yeah.
something that is fun.
Bow harvesting.
Yes, we're almost out of time for the bow harvesting.
This is it.
Velvet has pulled ahead in the Hammer and Nigel Biden madness, but we not only want to win, we need Velvet to run up the score so I can read a list of demands
Can't wait to hear
off the
the
rails
demands.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
So therefore, please, everybody, go to @Hammer and Nigel on Twitter. It's right there at the top. vote happy birthday, Velvet. Let's close this deal. The sentimental favorite. Velvet is the voice of the Kendall and Casey audience. Let's run up the score on our way to the national championship.
I just love how the Kendall and Casey listeners, we're just going to co-op this entire thing and take over.
We are flexing our muscle. And so that is fun, but you're telling me Indiana is not
That's fun. Yes, according to this new study done by Wallet Hub, Indiana sits at the bottom of states when it comes to fun.
Well, who wouldn't want cold weather, dreary skies? You can't go to the capital city because it's a murder zone.
You might get hit by a random stray bullet. So the metrics they used were restaurants per capita, golf courses, music festivals, number of attractions, shoreline mileage. We've got some shoreline, ideal weather, and of course beach quality.
Kev.
Well, we do have Holiday World. And they got free
Is it still in
soft
business?
drinks there.
Is Holiday World still in business?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But if you are a young person, and Kev, you are a young person, where would you go? What is the thing that you would say, I feel totally comfortable going and doing this? The bar scene, clearly, certainly in the greater downtown area, but even oftentimes places like Broad Ripple, totally not safe.
Yeah, if you're a 20-something and you're single, you don't have a family, it's not the greatest place to live.
I mean, take a Carmel or a Greenwood. Well, yes, they may be safer, although people are getting shot in Greenwood all the time now. While it may be safer, Carmel's not exactly party central. You're not like it's not shot territory.
It's designed for families.
Exactly. So if you are a younger person in search of an evening on the town, I'm not exactly sure where you go or what you do consistently.
If you're a younger person searching for a fun evening on the town, good luck, because how are you going to pay for that?
Right. That's also a great point. There ain't no jobs.
Right.
Everything's really expensive.
Wages don't go as far. Don't feel so bad, though, Hoosiers. Kentucky, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Alabama, Vermont, Arkansas, Rhode Island, Delaware, Mississippi, and West Virginia all are less fun than Indiana.
Well, we beat West Virginia. You ever driven through West Virginia, Casey?
Yes, I have.
I did that one time when I used to own my radio station in North Carolina, and I decided I was going to go. There's multiple different ways you could get there, and so I decided I was going to go up through West Virginia, and that was like something out of a Dickens novel, like smog and smoke and aging, decrepit houses that you can see from the roadway and everywhere. Even if you got to get gas, you're not sure you want to pull over because you're worried about the...
Aren't there mountains there?
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing about West Virginia, Kev. The mountains are so prevalent, and when you mix the mountains with the climate, the fog
sits.
Yeah, that's what I picture.
It is like on your roof. Like you cannot go more than about 30 miles an hour in many places. Even if it's a stretch of road where you should be going 60 to 70 miles an hour because you're worried you won't see the thing in front of you.
Yeah.
Indiana.
We beat West Virginia, though.
We did. We beat West Virginia. Indiana's last call, by the way, 3 a.m. compared to California's, which is 2 a.m. So checkmate.
California's
Golden State.
California's last call is 2 a.m.?
2 a.m. Yeah.
Who came up with that? Why?
We got him there.
Why is there even a time for call? If you want to drink, as long as you want to drink and you're behaving, maybe is that the reason there's a call time?
I don't know.
Because there were many times that it was last call.
Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
And you would say, but where are you supposed to go, Casey?
Home.
But you can't.
Go home.
I'm not trying to indict myself here, but there are many times where you got to go. Where am I supposed to go? I can't drive home.
Go sit in your car. Go walk it off. 28 minutes after 11, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease,
asthma,
Diabetes.
and you're 19 years of age or older,
52,
36,
42.
you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Get your air conditioner ready for spring and the hot summer ahead. On the South Side, call Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. CallTheMarshallNow.com, your American Standard Air dealer.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Be ready for flooding. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. You had a little rain throughout Indiana on Wednesday. As for the rest of the day today,
more rain is coming, and that's going to increase the flooding threat fairly substantially, up to 30 to 40% chance of flooding in most places.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service. He says areas to the south could get up to 5 inches of rain. A flood watch is in effect for that area. Possession of meth and misconduct are the charges against the Knox County coroner.
And that coroner, Karen Donovan, was arrested Wednesday night. I'm Sean Herrick. Police say the investigation into Donovan began in April of last year. They got a warrant and searched her house, and they say they found meth and fentanyl inside her home. So Donovan was taken to the Knox County Jail and then released on bond. Sean Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
I'm Kurt Darling. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
1 point, 1 swing, 1 tackle, 1 step. One trusted hospital system for orthopedic care. Franciscan Health's orthopedic, sports medicine, and rehabilitation teams offer state-of-the-art treatments, including total joint replacement, physical therapy, and the latest techniques and interventions for a variety of conditions, including arthritis and orthopedic sports-related injuries, keeping you in step, one step at a time. Find a full range of orthopedic care in one place. Go to franciscanhealth.org/orthocare.
Contaminated meds took Carrie's vision and her hope. A shooting stole Ray's sight and his dreams. To those who experience it, vision loss is devastating. But the programs of Bosma's Center for Visionary Solutions offer a return to independence. Without your help, though, those programs can't continue. If you act now, you can double the impact of your gift to the Bosma Visionary Opportunities Foundation. Change lives today at bosma.org/donate.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Baby, I'd love you to want me the way that I want you, the way that it should.
93 WIBC, it is the Kendall and Casey Show, and Rob Casey's here. And Casey, you know, I've been asking this question for the past several days now because, well, I have no idea what our Indiana General Assembly is doing down the street from us at 200 West Washington.
Yes, you do.
Well, I don't.
They gave themselves raises.
Well, they're doing
named
that.
a sandwich.
They're doing that. But one area I have no idea what's going on is when it comes to the youth and the trans care and the transing. I have no idea what the direction of the state of Indiana is, because on one hand, you have the Republican Senate coming out and saying, yeah, we're not even going to vote on a bill that would ban DCS from being able to take your kid from you if you don't support them transitioning. But then the other day, they are moving forward with the bill that would ban gender-affirming care for the youth. So I have no idea. I don't think they actually have any idea. But before I make assumptions, let's go to the guy who's arguably, when he's in the building, is the smartest guy in the building. You know him from the Tony Kennett Show, Saturdays 1 to 3 here on WIBC. Also find him at thedailysignal.com. Tony Kennett, how are you?
I'm very good, guys. How are you?
Is it fair for me to say that I have no idea what the Republicans are doing when you compare the two things that I just said? On one hand, well, they can still take your kid from you. DCS can still take the kid from you if you don't support them transitioning. But then they're going to basically ban the transitioning for the kids. Do they have any idea what they're doing at this point?
No, and this is why it's so important when I have the conversation with you guys that we need our legislators to know why they are voting on a bill, and they need to know the ins and outs of the piece of legislation so that they're not swayed by whatever lobbyist group that comes in and says, well, you don't want to put kids in an abusive situation, do you? You don't want to tamper with DCS. And then they paint this like magical, mysterious fantasy picture of like a one-armed child that's beaten daily for being trans, and like their parents come home and they just start hitting them with like full oil drums or something.
The scenarios
you don't want that, do you? You bigots.
The scenarios they come up with when these people get up to testify on these bills are just ridiculous.
I mean, they make for like dime store novels. It's incredible, like the characters that they trudge forward. You know, it's like, what about Harry Potter? Would you have him be abused? I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm okay. So you have that on one hand that gets them to shut down that bill. But then during the quote unquote "don't say gay" legislation, and then also the bill that would be banning, doctors from mutilating children and sterilizing them and giving them medicine that would destroy their endocrine and reproductive systems. Then the trans activists come and do their advocating, and they look insane. And suddenly the Republican legislator goes, wait a minute, I think the trans community may not be the most mentally stable group of legislature pushers here, guys. And so you end up getting, this mixed matched nonsense because our legislators want to hold the line some of the time, and other times they're cowed by whoever Eli Lilly sent to testify.
I love watching you tweet about these things because then there's a big giant comment section for me to read afterwards. And, I say this, I am somewhat envious of your ability to draw hate from the left because mostly I just get hate from Republicans, but you have mastered the art of hate from the total lunatic people.
It's really incredible the things that I find out about myself after reading some of these tweets about me. Apparently, I told my mom to stay in an abusive relationship. Apparently, once I single-handedly fought off a group of police officers at a school board meeting, which was like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. I was just one-handed, no. I'm amazed at all of these things, and they're upset because I point out something that every single Hoosier knows. People dealing with gender dysphoria are not in their 100% right mind, and that is not an insult. It is something that one of the reasons we need to make sure they have access to counseling and therapy, not pushing them along further into medical mutilation.
You're like a superhero. Now, Tony, I read that this is affecting something like 0.001% of the population.
Yeah, very few individuals are actually experiencing gender dysphoria. A lot of students are experiencing this as a fad at schools. 10 years ago, it was, I should say really 15 or 20 years ago, it was, wearing black and listening to Green Day and whatever else that you could get your hands on.
Emo.
Much more emo than Green Day, as I'm sure going right now on the live chat. But now it's, changing your gender around, coloring your hair, and talking about how you can't wait to be a theater major. Trends come and go. Unfortunately, this one has lifelong consequences that will scar children and sterilize them.
Tony Kennett, our guest. You can hear him Saturday's Tony Kennett Show, 1 to 3 here on WIBC. We're talking about the Republicans who, again, it just blows my mind. On the one hand, okay, you've got this bill that basically says you cannot transition your kid, you can't mutilate your kid, you can't any of those things. But then, okay, so we're agreement then the government can't take your kid from you if you don't support them being mutilated or transition. No, we're not going to do that. It seems to me it's more about them just being able to tell people what to do, and they still want the government to have control over you.
It's a group of legislators that really wants to have their cake and eat it too. And we've talked about this before, obviously, with raising gas taxes, but also running around telling everyone that they're lowering taxes. We have a group of legislators that really wants to appear like strong conservatives to their voter base who are putting them into office consistently. But then they want to turn around and they don't want to be called meanie big bad people by Senator J.D. Ford. I don't want anyone to say that I'm a bigot. What if someone doesn't like me? And that's how they govern. And it's really embarrassing because I thought that we had elected grown men and women to run our state at our behest, not a bunch of junior hires running for student council.
There's no punishment for them, though. That's the problem.
No, because no one comes out to vote in the primary. You see the big name come back out and they tell you all of the sweet, wonderful, saccharine words that you want to hear. And then we have to sit around and wait until the election and then, listen to you tell us how wrong we all are. That's why I wake up in the morning.
It's like they're trying to walk a really fine line. Both sides.
It's not even like they're straddling the fence with one foot and on each parcel of the fence. They're actually waving one leg wildly around in the camp of the left, and then they're waving the other arm around in the face of the taxpayer on the right, and expecting us to all think how wonderful they are, because if I see one foot, they must be wholly on my side of the fence, and that's simply not the case.
Can we, because as we said, Kenneth is no doubt, and he stole this from me, the brightest, when he's in the building, he's the brightest person
I wish
here.
you would stop
There's no
saying
doubt, absolutely
that. You were setting up
What is
so
your
many
IQ? What is your
expectations.
actual IQ? Would you tell us? Do you know what your actual, have you ever taken an actual IQ test?
I can't say that.
It's off the chart. No, it's off the chart.
It's not off the chart.
It is absolutely.
I've only ever heard about my IQ test one time is from my mom.
You're a men.
I don't know
be a
how much
Mensa person?
No way.
Rhodes Scholar?
No. I was an A and B student. I wasn't your straight A super student.
But I got, okay, that's interesting, though, because I feel like I got much smarter after I got out of school. The reason I mention this is I'm prefacing this by saying you are the smartest person in the building when you're here. However, you did something ridiculously stupid today, and it's the only reason you're actually here. You want to tell everybody why you're here today?
Yeah, so if as many of you listening to the show will note, if you look at your heritage.org calendars that you, of course, purchased and are sitting on your desk with a beautiful eagle over March, you'll notice that today, Thursday, is the 23rd of March. I was asked to come in for Casey on Thursday, March 30th, which today is not. So I have a few errands that I have just suddenly booked on my calendar that I have to do here in downtown Murderville. And that's just what happens when you don't read your calendar, folks.
Allow me to let you know this, Kenneth, that if you are ever supposed to fill in, you will receive numerous text messages from me. You will receive the template from me.
I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, where is Rob's template? He's really dropping the ball.
You will always be fully prepared for this show. What is coming up on the Tony Kennett Show this Saturday, 1 to 3, as well as what are you working on at the Daily Signal?
We have a great show ready this Saturday. Kurt Schlichter, who's a very famous author, writes really cool spy novels, is coming on. I'm going to persuade him to make me a cameo in the next book. If Tony Katz can make it into the books, I should be able to make it.
Wait. Katz is in a book?
Yeah, he gets murdered in one of the books.
Oh, that's all. What?
Yeah, in his second most recent book, the spy, America's collapsing. It's in the process of collapsing, and the main character, the spy, is driving from DC up to Minneapolis, and he goes through Indy. And as he's listening to WIBC on the radio, he hears people kick in the studio doors, and he hears gunfire. That's in the book, and Tony Katz is on the air, and then suddenly
is it actually identified as Tony Katz?
Oh yeah, openly Tony Katz on 93.1 WIBC. So I should be in.
What?
Yeah, I should be a cameo in this book. So we're going to talk about that. Representative Teshka is going to stop by. We're going to talk about all the
Tesla, our buddy guy.
He's going to talk about.
No. Now, Tesla told us, remember, Casey? Tesla told us he never. So, do you know the story about Tesla?
I'm about to hear it.
So, Tesla got mad at us me on social media about something, and we were talking about how ridiculous he was being on the air because he was doing it in real time on Twitter. And then he started incessantly calling the hotline, some petulant little child, demanding that we answer and take his call live on the air. And I said, well, we're not going to do that. If you'd like to come in and set up a time, we will treat you like we treat everyone else. He threw a fit about that, then claimed he had no idea about the radio show, or I think he even said he didn't know about the radio station. But then it was like, well, how do you have the hotline number? And I think he said, well, someone gave it to him. But yet he's going to be on your show, so apparently he must know about the radio station.
Is he coming in studio, or are you doing it over the phone?
We're doing it over the phone.
Well, he's got the hotline number then, so you'll be fine.
Well, he told us that he couldn't come down into the studio. It was too far to drive from northern Indiana. So I was going to say, wait a minute. If he's coming in live for you, but couldn't do it for us?
He's hopping on my show.
Well, tell Tesla we said hi.
No, you know what? I have told Rob that I've turned around on him, and I like him now.
Casey's fine with him stealing all the money because he did something good on a social issue.
As far as Teshka is concerned, and Rob, you know how I feel about the social issues in the culture war, I think that he did a very fine job of making sure that the amendment requiring schools to notify parents about gender changes and names and all that stuff got onto the quote unquote, don't say gay bill, HB 1608. I appreciate that. That's what we're going to talk about.
So when someone breaks in your house and steals all your stuff, are you going to say, hey, you can take all my stuff if you're cool on the social issues?
No,
Is that how we're operating here now?
No, I'm going to shoot them. As far as the straw men that you're building, I try not to waste rounds on those.
Anything else? Any other political underachievers going to be on the show on Saturday?
Well, we can always have you on, but
Nice.
Tony Kinnett, thank you, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Vote now on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel, the finals of Biden madness. Someone will cut down the nets this afternoon. And oh yeah, we've also got the biggest stories of the day. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
What really stands out about Shane Company is the vibe here. It's fun and welcoming. Hey there, I'm a Shane Company jewelry consultant, and my team and I will work together to make sure you have the best experience possible. We want you to feel at ease. It's a family business, and we'll treat you like family. We'll do whatever it takes to help you find what you're looking for and respect your budget. There are a lot of great things we offer at Shane Company that other jewelers don't, like the largest selection of styles in every price range and endless options to personalize your jewelry. Did you know you can create a necklace or ring starting with one of our beautiful gemstones and then watch our master jewelers at work? That's right. There's a jeweler workshop here in our store. That means you can see firsthand the craftsmanship and attention to detail they put into everything they do. If you've never been here, visit us today and see what we have to offer. It's more than fine jewelry. It's a really fun time.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and Shaneco.com.
Indianapolis, do you have old, ugly, or even damaged concrete? Not sure what to do about it, but you know you need to do something? Well, you need to call Galaxy Concrete Coatings. This product is out of this world, and it's right here in Indianapolis. And just in time to give your concrete floors a transflormation. Galaxy Concrete Coatings is 4 times stronger than epoxy. It's designed to not only work on your garage floor, but you can use it on driveways, walkways, around your pool or patio, commercial or residential. And it's UV resistant, which means it will not yellow. And even better, it can be ready to go in about 24 hours. Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or call 317-751-9070. Indy, you're ready for a transflormation. Call Galaxy Concrete Coatings today, 317-751-9070. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They are out of this world.
Indianapolis is under attack, at war with rampant crime, drugs, and homelessness. But Mayor Hogsett is unwilling to join the fight. In fact, under Mayor Hogsett, Indianapolis now has a murder rate higher than Chicago. Do you feel safe knowing that? But Jefferson Shreve is ready to take back Indianapolis. Jefferson Shreve will put more cops on the street and give them the support they need. We don't have to live like this. Jefferson Shreve is ready to rebuild, restore, and reimagine Indianapolis. He's a winner in business, so he knows how to lead a team to turn things around. No more empty talk. It's time for action. Because another term for Mayor Hogsett is another 4 years of the same problems, only worse. This may send Hogsett a message. Vote for Jefferson Shreve for a change. Paid for by Shreve for Mayor.
For a limited time at Tire Discounters, a free alignment is now included with every tire purchased, even one.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. May I help you?
I doubt it.
Say, aren't you Ralph, the manager over at Tire Box?
Nope.
Okay.
Anywho, I only need one tire, so I guess I don't get none of your gimmicks, right?
Gimmicks? Even if you need just one tire, you still get lifetime rotation,
gimmick,
lifetime balancing,
gimmick,
and
left one out, didn't you?
And now a free alignment is included with every tire purchased, even one.
See store for details.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the first step to peace of mind is controlling your power with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer, Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
I got a job and I put my money away.
Good morning. It's 11:49. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So the grand jury will not be convening for the rest of the week in the case of Donald Trump's hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. So they're done. So we're not on indictment watch for the rest of the week.
Well, Kevin just played the band there doing a song called Atlantic City, and one of the lyrics in the chorus of that song is everything dies. Maybe that's a fact, and maybe that everything that dies will someday come back. And that appears where Alvin Bragg may be right now, because he might be in some big trouble. I mean, look, if you're a person who cares at all about justice or the law, this thing should be dead. Obviously, if you cared at all, it never would have got started to begin with. But, I mean, the Cohen letter is incredibly damaging, in which Cohen admits he did it all on his own, and Trump was, no part of that. But this guy, again, is just trying to jam a square peg into a round hole. He's not going to stop. He's not going to be deterred. He's going to find a way to find something that he can convince these people to charge Trump on, and ultimately, you know the old saying, you can indict a ham sandwich.
Apparently, they're having a bit of trouble convincing the jury to swallow the case. Like nobody's buying it.
Well, and so this is the thing, right? This should be, and we talked about this earlier, justice should be, here are the facts, we'll go where it takes us, and then ultimately, whatever is the reality of it, that's the reality of it, and we walk away knowing we explored everything we needed to explore, and if it leads to, hey, we should try someone, great. If it leads to we shouldn't, okay. That's the way it's supposed to work. But we saw this in, again, the Duke Lacrosse case is a great example of this, where that prosecutor went in saying, I'm going to find a way to charge these people for this, no matter how ridiculous the case in question is. I'm going to send my own message. That's what he's trying to do here.
Apparently, there was a bomb threat that was made. Somebody called 911 on Tuesday, and they shut down the Manhattan Civil Courthouse for a bit, put all the proceedings on hold, but then they got back to work. Of course, police presence has been stepped up a lot in New York. They've got about 36,000 NYPD officers who were all put on alert this week. So does that mean that these guys all have to stand down? I mean, they were all told, wear full uniform all week, let your presence be known. Trump called for protests.
Why didn't they do that during the riots? Is that a stupid question?
No.
Why wasn't this the approach during the riots?
Yeah.
Where there was actual violence going on?
Make yourself known.
I don't know. Maybe that makes me a terrible person for asking that out loud.
I'm just curious if they're going to tell all these police officers. Now, you don't have to be on high alert for the rest of the week because we're not doing anything.
Look, this guy is not going to give up. Again, anything could happen, but it appears he's trying to get his ducks back in. I mean, the Cohen letter is so damaging, in which, for those of you who are not aware, Michael Cohen wrote a letter in 2018 where he admitted that the payments were made by him and that Trump and Trump's organization had nothing to do with the payments. Well, then we're done here.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Michael Cohen is a liar, but then if Michael Cohen's a liar, he's one of your star witnesses. That makes either way, the whole case is flimsy.
Yeah, your star witness is a convicted perjurer. It is 11:53. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And before we wrap up for the day, how do you like your cheeseburger? Or your burger, I'm sorry. I assumed the cheese.
Oh, yeah. No, give me all the stuff.
You like everything on top?
You know what I think is a great burger in various restaurants, and Kev will back me up on this. Various restaurants call it different things, but a burger that is like a breakfast burger where it has the hamburger and then the bacon and the cheese and the egg. Sometimes there's some hash brown on there. That is a premier burger for me. I love those burgers.
That sounds awesome. I've never even heard of that before. A breakfast burger?
I've had burgers with the eggs on it, but usually it's got like aioli sauce and fancy stuff.
No, nothing fancy schmancy Russian deli where you hang out with. Many bars will have these often. They're great at like 2 a.m.
A little bacon jam on there.
You've got a burger, and then you've got bacon, and then you've got the egg, and then oftentimes they'll throw a hash brown or something on it, and you put it together, and it's a burger.
That sounds delicious.
Be really good for a hangover.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I just said it was really good about 2 a.m., Kev. That's all I said.
Oh, beat the hangover. You'll prevent the hangover with it.
Put something of substance in your stomach to soak up all that alcohol.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the peanut butter on a hamburger? Have you ever heard about that?
What are you even talking about?
Okay, see, now that's a different one. And then what kind of cheese? Are you just American cheese,
American
Swiss cheese?
Yeah.
I kind of like the blue cheese crumbles on there every now and then. Give it a little zing.
Well, you are the person who spent 9 hours at the bar trying to figure out what wine you could order. Is this a 64 Cabernet?
Okay, if you'd like to find out what Indiana's favorite burger joint is, just head over to WIBC.com. We've got the Burger Wars listed. The hamburger, 100 years old this year. Some fun burger facts before we go. Americans consume approximately 50 billion burgers a year. The average person eats about 30 pounds of hamburgers, 3 burgers a week. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Good job today. And thank you for listening. We're going to count on you to be back here tomorrow. Go vote for Happy Birthday Velvet. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes,